Hello, hello, and welcome along to Beldania, which I have totally not done the title for. Beldania, episode 37.
Sounds about right.
And I believe today's episode is called Reunion. Of course it is. Of course it is. Today I have playing with me, Rico.
Hey, I'm Rico, and I'm playing Torin Goldenbrand, the Gold Dragonborn Paladin.
I have Jamel.
Guys, Jamal here. I'll be playing Kiavo Duskmane, our Leonin Order of the Scribes wizard.
I have Josh.
Theseus.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yep. Spellbook Theseus, played by this douchebag, the DM.
Theseus has had more introductions than he's had interactions.
That's true.
I have Josh.
Can you come back to me?
I have Bruno.
Hi, I'm playing Alessio McPherson, a human battlemaster fighter with a golden heart and a golden dick.
Oh, things you learn about him. I have Joe.
Wow.
Hi, I'm Joe, and I play Hennick Littlefield, the halfling farmer and bard, genitals of undisclosed color.
Oh my
And
god.
because he hasn't found a joke yet, I'll return to Josh anyway. How about you just don't tell one? Your character can be the joke today.
Or just tell a really bad one about the color of your genitals.
Hi, I'm Josh. What kind of tree do fingers grow?
What kind of tree do fingers grow? On?
Yeah.
Is there an
A
on missing at
palm
the end of that
tree.
sentence?
Boo.
Okay.
That was awful.
It was awful.
It was
anyways.
genuinely terrible.
Maybe you should
You
retire the
come
joke
up-
telling.
I come up with better jokes, but I completely forgot. But I will be playing Sebastian Belmont, the Abjuration Wizard. So long, Bert.
These intros are getting far too long. Anyway, so if you remember correctly, we left off having encountered Sebastian and a strange pale elf in the corridor. Many strange pale elves, actually, if being real. Excuse me. Oh.
You're excused.
So basically, as you charged on down an underdark passageway, charging towards you with an alarm going off were various pale elves, behind which was Sebastian, who, I must retcon, was walking swiftly. Apparently he doesn't run.
Absolutely not.
One thing we are going to correct from last session, Birch did not make his way down here. And so as you encounter these sort of very pale elves, they are led by a female. She has long blonde hair, sort of halfway down her back, and startlingly bright green eye. She sort of holds her hand up to her guards either side, who sort of place their weapons to the, not to the ground, but like they rest their spears on the ground. She says, "Quick now, we don't have much time. You," and she looks down at Hennick. "You must be Hennick." And she sort of points to each of you and names you. Torin and Kiavo and Alessio. It says, "I have heard of you that you like to listen and to talk. Perhaps we might do so."
Well, as soon as I get over my shock at whatever magic you've used to overcome Sebastian and get him to actually tell you about us, yeah, that's fine. We can speak.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then she will gesture towards what it looks like a wall, right? And on this wall is one of those large roots. Remember, they were coming down from above. They're backwards roots, get thinner as they go up. And she sort of leans her hand on it for a moment, and it parts in the middle, revealing a passageway, a small passageway, into what is effectively a... Excuse me, sorry. What is effectively a sort of meeting room or meeting place. Yeah, she gestures you all in there, and once you're all in, she waits for Sebastian to join. She brings no guards in at all. And with another gesture, the route closes behind her. Sort of looks at you all and... "I apologize, you'll be confused, I guess. Well, I'm..." And she sort of steps back and lets Sebastian sort of step forward.
I'll just say, don't be upset. They're always confused.
But obviously she's allowing a reunion of sorts. She gives you some space for that. It's unlikely to be teary-eyed and full of relief and joy.
I'll pick
We're
up
being honest.
Sebastian. I'll shake him
Oh
and
my
say,
god.
I thought you were dead! I'm so glad you're alive.
You're
I mean, I
lucky.
thought you were dead and then you told us you were alive, but we still thought you were dead at first.
You're lucky he has handcuffs on that stop his magic.
You are
Perfect.
absolutely correct.
Hold
then-
up.
Since I may
Oh.
so, I shall hug him like
Hmm.
a little kitty.
Okay, he'll love that. Kiava, you were saying?
Hold up. I would like to check, make sure
Wait,
that this is
wait.
Sebastian that we know and not some soul that's been put in Sebastian.
There aren't
my
many
goodness.
walking, talking cats who would have arrived with such precision
No,
and
but
arrogance.
remember that we assumed that his soul had been taken and put into a phylactery or something, yeah?
So you originally thought, but having seen the braces on him, you can assume that they are redirecting his magic. Sorry, go on.
As Alessio picks me up, I'm gonna whisper in his ear. If you don't put me down, I'm gonna wait until you forget about this moment, and then I'm gonna get you a dog, and you're gonna fall in love with that dog, and then one day I'm gonna sneak into your house, and I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Be silly, Sebastian. I'm a horse person, not a dog person. It's good to have your empty threats back, buddy. I missed you.
I just hiss at you.
Yes, I don't think cats hiss like snakes.
I mean,
No,
Yeah, that's more like it.
that's more like
Okay, right. Can we focus for a moment, please? Because there is a lot to drop here. So she introduces herself. She says that her name is Riel, and she's very pleased to make your acquaintance. She introduces herself as a wild elf. I know you may not know much of us, if anything at all. We were locked away by the moon elves for millennia. Saddens me to say, but some of my people are responsible for some of the troubles you've been witnessing up above. I apologize. Inconveniences. Nevertheless, Sebastian has been telling me a little of the state of the world. Some of my people wish to return to the world, to rejoin the world as part of its natural working order. Those people are led by my mother, Beldania. They wish to live in peace alongside others, and be left to their own devices. Henrik, as she's saying this, with your passive insight, which is stupendously high, you are able to tell that she is genuine about her desires, but you can tell she has doubts about the possibilities of that actually happening. And she sort of gives a wry smile, and my people have learned much about living in isolation, and very little about living in harmony. I'm not saying it would be a simple transition, but I'd hoped that in returning Sebastian to you, that perhaps through you we might find inlet or an opening, make contact with those above ground, and perhaps find some peace. In return, some of my people may be able to offer solutions to the troubles you've been experiencing.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but everyone up there hates each other. So, you're probably better off down here.
Well,
thank goodness.
so I'm given to understand, but our natural life is up there.
No, I mean,
World.
you were talking about harmony and peace, and there's none of that. Everyone's always fighting.
She gestures towards the group of you, and despite your words, your situation belies that fact. 5 of 5 different races working as a team, no?
Yeah, but we're a very rare exception, trust me.
Perhaps. But I believe if my people were to return to the world above immediately, your varied countries and races would unite in effort to eradicate us.
You're absolutely right. It seems like something those people would do.
Well,
Yeah.
I beg your. Oh, sorry. Go.
No, she was going to look to you and see if you had anything to
Well, I
contribute.
beg your pardon. I beg your pardon, but well, have you returned Sebastian to us? I mean, we've all had our wishes to control him from time to time, but we have confronted quite powerful people to remove shackles from people we like less than him in the past.
If you would accept that for now, those shackles are in exchange for my living. When this meeting is over, I will release that bond.
I'm not really sure I understand the nature of the exchange, but
So basically, she's saying that if she removes the bonds now, you have no reason to leave her alive.
We also have no reason to kill you. You've not threatened us. You've not been aggressive towards us.
That is true and untrue. Perhaps you do not retain the ability of your ancestors or others to hold one responsible for the action of another of the same family or race. I believe my people have caused great harm and destruction to your peoples and also to you directly in some ways.
So
How
have
do you
mine.
figure?
Well, from what I understand, there was a large sand obstacle in the land of the Leonin. She gestures
Aye,
towards
there
Kiavo.
was.
I understand war was waged on your village due to some orcs fleeing from the nature of the primordial that my father raised. Said, I'd like to insurance for my life. It is owed to you more than once. Once for the deeds that were dealt.
Wait, you're saying that you're the reason that the orcs started mobilizing?
My people are. Well, as I said, there are two factions within the Wild Elves. My mother and I do not stand by those people who released the primordial North, but I believe it is what spurred the orcs to war. We have shared some of our secrets with Sebastian, and he in turn will share them with you, I'm sure. But
yeah, Alessio, well, you weren't with us back then, but we saw an enormous mountain in the north. Seemed to be frightening the people of those lands, so it does sort of fit.
Oh, I'm very familiar with what resulted the orcs in moving Hennick. I actually had a chance to perform near the borders when I was a child. That's when I lost my mother.
just a reminder, the orcs only mobilized 2 years ago. But we'll go with... There have been many orc wars in the time. But this particular time...
You can still hate orcs moving.
You can still hate orcs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Even when I
yeah.
told you my backstory, this would have been great to know.
Well, you did know, right? Because the orcs started moving when the mountain
Yeah.
started moving, when Sandringham started burning, while you were still in session. I don't think
37
these guys
sessions
have,
ago.
I don't think these guys have aged 30 years since then. But nevertheless, she will explain that the fault of the movement of the orcs was due to Tarava, an earth primordial, who indeed moves mountains with his very hands. Let's write it down so that we all have the name.
Thank goodness.
There are...
And what?
Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, what purpose was summoning of this beast?
I must correct you on the terminology first. He was not summoned, he was freed. Despite my disagreement with decision, those words are important. Tarava is a primordial of the earth, who was bound by the souls of moon elves. They put their souls into various objects, items, and spells to contain much of the natural world and natural gods. Primordials are seen as the gods by many of my people. The purpose of freeing them was in part to free them. So I believe my father also wishes to return the earth to its natural state prior to the building of it, building upon it of man.
Your father seeks to eradicate mankind from Beldania.
I think it's fair to say that my father seeks to eradicate the evidence of mankind and the actions of mankind and the creations of mankind. That which you call technology, architecture, buildings, things that harness the land instead of allowing the land to be as it is. I'm sure even in the land of the elves, I've seen great differences in their harmony with nature. Many of my people would take that step or two further. Once again, Henrik, I will just, with your passive insight, give you some more information there. You get the impression that while she disagrees with his methods, she wholly agrees with his
Purpose.
beliefs. She doesn't like what mankind has done to the world, but she's not suggesting that it gets eradicated. She believes in a harmony with nature. And she was quite defensive, Torrin, when she mentioned sort of that it was the freeing of primordials, not the summoning of.
Well, this is all quite a bit to take in, and all for very just bare shades of position. The way I see it, but I don't think we have a whole lot of options. Sebastian, I don't know whether those apparently those cuffs you're wearing there's enough to protect this woman's life. I don't know if they prevent you from speaking freely, but how have you been treated, or what have you been told? Is any reason we should take these people seriously?
So, just to fill in that gap a little bit first before I allow Sebastian to talk. And yes, Sebastian can talk freely. He just doesn't know what to say.
Oh, man.
He just doesn't know what to say necessarily. Thus far, Riel has treated you with great respect. She has also shown you some of the... well, yes, but mostly because you would be able to escape, right? She's also shown you some of the natural magic of the wild elves. The full impact of which will be revealed a bit later. But she's also told you much of just the ways of her people. They are a very natural people, almost primal or savage, I guess, in some ways, but quite sophisticated in others, such as their learning of magic, shooting of each other. They're very much at harmony with the natural world, like she is saying, but they clearly believe themselves superior to many of the current races. That much will have bled through to Sebastian, although he also sees himself as superior to every race, so perhaps he'll just...
Oh, Sebastian's not about race, it's just about
himself,
beings.
individual. Okay, well,
In
he sees
general.
himself as superior to everyone. But yes, for the most part, Sebastian would have been treated very well, and she would have told you much about their hierarchy and their history, and also, of course, the suppression of them by the Moon. Sorry, were you going to respond to that?
I was going to pretend like I couldn't talk, but that's out the window.
My bad.
How have they been treating me? I mean, they don't cook the best steak. And the wine? No wine. Handcuffs? How can you eat properly when your hands are bound? I don't know. If this warrants murder, which I think it should, then I say, get me out. But if it doesn't warrant murder, then I say, typical.
Real helpful, Josh. Real helpful. But yeah, I mean, Riel sort of shrugs her shoulders and... The treatment of Sebastian, we did protect ourselves first and foremost. But we weren't expecting a sudden visitor. I did what I could to protect him. much as. And Sebastian, you will know that that's true. You have been sheltered from certain
Yes,
people within the
it's-
group. For
They
example,
were fine.
Sarathis, who you
They
first met,
were-
would have killed you.
Yeah.
Riel sheltered you from that.
They were fine, I suppose. 3 out of 5 stars.
So the giant sand thing, you mentioned knowing about that.
Yeah.
Were you aware how it was being created?
Was that your
I-
doing?
No. So, I believe it is part of my father's work. I don't think it was the natural work of a primordial. It seems unnatural to me. I think he is
I
calling
guess
upon
my
the powers of his gods to enhance his abilities in ways that are destructive.
well, I was just curious because for someone who seems to know a fair amount about what's going on in that in particular, once we fought our way to the source, it was well, right easy to fix. It seemed like it might have been something you could have taken care of if you were really concerned about fixing these things. It'd push a plug in a hole.
Indeed. A simple enough deed with huge repercussions. Not on your part, but should I have done that? My standing amongst my people would be moved for the most part. We try and find compromise with my father where possible. A war between the Wild Elves could result in our eradication, and none of us want that.
All right, then I guess, and now maybe you've said there, but it was a lot to hear. What would you propose doing to help us going forward, if you're not able to do something such as that?
I would like to send with you 2 people, one whom will remain with you and one who will seek the roots of problems that are happening in your world above. They have intimate knowledge of workings of our people and of the magic of our people, to try and set to rights some of the things that have been made wrong in your world, and to show you that not all wild elves are so drastic in their actions.
Well, I like to focus on the problem that's in front of me. I know that the immediate one is simply this discussion, but we were here dealing with this waxy substance growing across the land. I suppose
Wax.
if you or yours can help us with that,
Waxy
might go a
substance.
long way. Yes, sort of white glaze, quite thick though, growing magically across all the vegetation and things up on the surface.
What you're telling me is troublesome.
Killing
was-
everything that it touches.
She takes a dagger from her hip as she walks away from you all, to the wall. She plunges it into a root, and that white substance sort of pours forth in a slightly more viscous form. This?
Seems to be
It
related
seems
to
to
those,
be the
yes.
stuff.
Aye.
Much of the magic has been lost in the elven lands, it would seem. What we do here shouldn't bleed enough resources from above, cause such an effect, even on a minor scale.
You dare say it's not quite minor anymore.
Didn't think to
So
ask
then,
Sebastian about the weather. Did it rain much? Unfortunately, none of you really live in
whereabouts?
Veralia all that much.
I can't.
So
exactly.
you probably don't
Can't
know.
really say. I don't know.
But she will sort
I
of
can find out for you.
she will sort of motion with her head, and perhaps the other that was with you can answer that question more. Birch, I believe
I
his name
should
was.
perhaps let him. Yes, I should perhaps let him know where we are as it is.
He's-
I suppose.
Aware, I'm afraid.
I see.
We
And you
seeks to
are
make separate.
aware.
Well, unlike your own party, who I got to first, Birch was reached by one of my father's followers. He's fine. but he's detained. You may message him if you wish. But his views seem to align in many ways with ours.
I knew it. And you guys all thought that I was causing troubles, when actually he had an evil bone to him all along.
We can't judge the man like that, Alessio.
You think what we do is evil, Alessio?
Yeah, you've hurt a lot of people, to be completely honest.
You've not done the same with your own blade. Your hand.
No, I'm pretty sure you've hurt a lot more people than me with my blades. Let's
personally?
focus on scale.
Me personally?
Hmm?
Or do you ascribe to me the acts of my father? Or if I am to
Well-
ascribe to you the act of your fathers and many, and those their fathers, and so on and so forth, and the acts of your
Listen,
entire
you're the one
race.
that got defensive when I said it. I'm not trying to cause beef here, okay? I'm not judging you. I'm not saying you're evil. All I'm saying is, what your father's doing is hurting a lot of people.
In that
A
we
lot
can
of peop-
agree.
A lot of people that can't stand up to him like we sort of can.
Should clarify that Birch, like me, seems to agree with the reason behind the methods, not the methods themselves.
So he's not evil?
The returning of the land to a more natural state. Even just a greater respect for the nature at hand. So evil a thing.
No, we can all agree with that, but I was kind of hoping that, there was like a mean streak to him so we could hate him, but guess not.
Too late. He's lovable.
I am ever so sorry to disappoint you.
I will say, and Hennick sort of directs to his companions here just to sort of pass on some of his insight. I will say, while the lady here seems to have, views not so dissimilar from most of those nigh on eternal folk of her sort, that may not quite understand the needs that we all have, those of us who pass through the land a little faster. Her differences with her father do appear to be genuine, as far as I can tell. I think we should consider that, take it into account. We need someone. We came here to fix the problem, and we got no right idea how to do it.
In terms of fixing the
Well, it
problem above,
seems
that can be done fairly swiftly, though will require a fairly drastic action to achieve it in a swift manner. The land is simply lacking water.
Lacking water.
So we need a big wave.
That would be one solution. Simpler solution would be to call forth a downpour for a sustained period of time on this, just on the area that is covered in wax. Will shrink fairly quickly. Quickly in Elven terms. A year or two.
I wonder.
Wait,
Wonder
you
if
said Elven
the-
terms.
Yeah, so she's saying it'll take a year or two. Which is
Oh.
quick in her view, but it's not quick in yours. But it's only that area of land, right? And it will get smaller.
Wait. Does this mean that the other land effects that are being caused throughout the rest of the world are also going to take this long to be amended?
No.
Okay.
What is happening here is a byproduct of the changing of the land that we neglected to understand. I must confess, what has happened here is entirely my doing. Oh, I don't think it has killed anyone. It certainly has
Are you-
caused trouble to the land, and that is most upsetting to me.
Is the
Are
land
you
not
by any
alive?
chance talking about the large waves blocking the coastlines? Would these
That
be
is
causing?
no, that is just a natural defense of the elves. It was originated by the moon elves. They call upon elementals. It is nothing to do. I
I see.
simply did not account for the lack of nutrition within the land, and I cast the spells that gave us the nutrition we have down here.
She's in charge of these roots, and they're pulling water down instead of up to the plants on the surface. And
Specifically,
there ain't enough to
they
go around, apparently.
they are pulling life force. Yeah.
Interesting.
And
Right.
at
And
no
what
point.
are
One at a time. Let's have Rico first.
you using this life force for?
This, and she gestures towards the chamber, which is lit naturally by sort of plants that have light inside them. The route that allowed you to maneuver through. The natural beauty of the chambers around her. And vanity. We like living amongst nature. It's been so long since my people could do so. When I had the opportunity to grant some level of nature and natural living, my people, I took it. Jamal, you were saying?
So, hold on. You're saying you essentially diverted life from the surface and miscalculated.
Well, in the times that I was on the surface, it wouldn't have caused any trouble. The amount of life force drained would have been minimal. The plant life above could have sustained it with ease. I hadn't accounted for the changes in the nature above. So yes, I miscalculated. For that I am truly sorry. This might be difficult for you to understand, but it grieves me more that I've harmed the land above than the people that live in it. I know that might be difficult for you to hear, but that is the way that I have grown up. I have always
And at
lived.
no point you thought of stopping this, Riel?
And what?
Whatever you're doing with the wax? At no
As
point.
stated until you told me only moments ago, I had no idea of the impact above. We can't travel above that.
But you knew you were draining the life force.
As
What did you
stated-
expect was going to happen when
As
you
stated
take someone's
before.
blood out of their body?
As stated before, in past times, this would have had almost no impact on land above. The amount siphoned would have been negligible. If you slice your hand and to make an oath, the amount of blood lost does not cause you any death, does it?
Then what's going wrong, Riel? Because clearly this is way out of hand, and
So,
if
to re-clarify, because I think I have said this, so I'm just going to repeat it real quick. Basically, what she's saying is over the 2,500 years that she's been locked beneath the earth, the amount of rainfall and the amount of life force within the nature above has dwindled drastically, and she didn't realize that. So, what she thought
she
was
was
a
just careless. Okay.
well, yes and no. Like, partly she's careless, but mostly she's unaware, right? And if she'd had have known she was causing harm, she would have stopped it immediately. And as she said, hurting the land has actually grieved her far more than hurting any of its people would.
Okay, so let me rephrase what I said to.
Mhm.
Now that you know this, now that you know what's happening upstairs, now that you know how much everybody else is getting affected, what are you going to do about it?
She has just said that we can fix it, but it'll take a couple of years.
No, tell us. What needs to be done? And how can we stop your father
A
if
drastic
he's
downpour. She mentioned that.
Okay.
Sustained
let me-
downpour on that small area. It can be arranged, perhaps
Okay,
with the people that
and
are going with you. As for what my
your
father is
father?
doing, as I said, I would like to send 2 people with you. One to make acquaintances and see that some of the land is put to right, and some of the deeds of my father are put to rights with you, at least for a short period of time. Sebastian, go on.
Alessio, you seem a lot more aggy than usual.
We'll come
I
to that in a
am.
second. I'm just going to state what the
I'm
other thing is.
incredibly angry.
I'm just going to state what the other thing is she was going to do, because I think this is getting missed. And she wants to send 2 people above. One specifically to go around and try and correct what her father has done. And one, or certainly correct its impact on the people. And one to travel with you and try and make people realize that not all wild elves are bad as such, right? That she doesn't seem to reveal the full purpose of what she wants them to go forth for, but only Hennick has noticed that thus far.
Don't be angry, Alessio. You'll get wrinkles.
Well, it's hard not to be angry when people are being careless about other people's lives. Even if they didn't know, that doesn't excuse what happened. sorry. I don't have 1,000 years in me. I'll live up to 80, and then I won't be able to do anything else. I mean, we need to enjoy every day, and with what's happening out there in the outside world, it doesn't look like most people are going to be able to, and that's not fair.
I'm a little confused. Can I address Bruno as opposed to Alessio?
Yeah.
Are you stating that the draining of the life force from the plants above has ruined the lives of many? Because it really hasn't.
No, I'm
it's a mile
stating
of
that
it's a
what
mile of vegetation,
she-
right?
What
And that
she
is
and
all
her
she
father
is
have
responsible for.
done- Yeah,
That is
but-
the only thing she is responsible for.
But she has to stop her father.
Tarava was old daddy-o.
Yeah.
And she has multiple times made it clear that she stands against what her father is doing. She's trying to
Clearly
aid
not
you in
enough,
combating it. Well,
Oh, okay.
yeah. She's
because
sending two
it
people
seemed-
up there to literally reverse what he has done. With you.
No, but when she was sending us to, so I mean, it isn't this behavior is messy and it's careless. Like you can't buy me on these people,
Okay.
but regardless, because
Same.
it's messy. People's lives are being affected. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if she needed to hide. What about everybody up there? I'm gonna cap out when I'm 80. She's got 1,000 more years than her.
Well, is that her fault though? That you're, I mean, not that it's your
Really?
fault that you're a human, but is that really her responsibility that you're not going to live long enough to help?
It's not her responsibility, but it's her privilege, and she should be a lot more careful with her magic.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry,
That's fine.
Honestly-
messy magic users.
Messy magic users, it's fucking true.
There's the fighter.
But I think what. So to clarify, I think what Alessio is more upset about is that he doesn't understand exactly why. I get why it was done, but he doesn't understand how it got like this and how at no point they were like, no, you can't do this to these people, because standing by and still watching it be done.
They're
is
not right.
acting
Okay,
with
so
complacency.
it should be very clear that they are not watching anything because they are stuck beneath the earth, right? He is out there
that-
causing
that does
havoc,
make
and
me
she
wonder.
is not, right? And even in
Like
stating
you
that
could
she wants to
argue
combat her father-
probably the opposite way. Like the surface elves have been subjugating these people for thousands of years. So like
That's
I don't
where
like
her
them
perspective
either.
is.
Right.
That's where her perspective is. Imprisoned
But
for
then this also
2,500
leaves the
years,
question.
right?
This also leaves the question, right? You don't just release a primordial and think it's not going to cause any problems.
Oh, he knew
surely.
exactly
So
what
in
it would
terms of
do.
him, yeah.
He knew
Yeah,
exactly
so in
what would
terms of
happen.
him, yeah, he needs to be
Yeah.
dealt with, yeah.
he seems like
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the
I
piece of
I
work.
still have a problem with her. I don't
Okay,
know.
that's fine. But I think we should
No, but, like-
allow the session to move past that.
How
Briefly.
confined was she? Like, how confined was she?
Do you ask her?
Ask her. Ask her.
Ask her that.
How confined? Like, how much could you stop your father
I
from
haven't
doing what he was
seen the
doing?
sunlight in 2,500 years.
So you weren't complacent.
In those 2,500 years, for the first 1,000, all of my people were confined to one underground network. I believe you've been there.
Look at Hennig. Is she lying?
No, she's definitely. You can hear in her anger in her voice that she is not only telling the truth, but she is trying to club you with it. She then
Underground
sort of states
network, you mean the one under the deserts?
that. No. Oh, only Sebastian's been there. Sorry, I confused.
Oh wait,
you.
Django
no,
and
we,
her
we
dad?
went in there in the place of the with the things along the walls, the like engraved marking things. Was that not her?
Sort of. You found a similar underground network in Halion, but that
Oh.
only came about 100 years ago. Although it
Oh.
was a place of her people a long, long time ago.
Oh.
Where she was imprisoned was beneath the Great Lake, where the Yurak state is. All of her people were imprisoned in those chambers, where Sebastian.
Oh yeah, the whirlpool that tracks.
Sebastian obviously
Entered there.
entered there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Those caverns is where she was imprisoned for 2,500 years. I don't know if you know this, but population grows, even in elves. Spaces we were confined to were not large enough for us, and in some ways that is what facilitated our escape. We didn't have enough magic users to combat the magic when we were locked away. But over 2,000 years, we were able to generate enough magic users to escape to other parts of the underground network the Moon Elves once used. Only in the last 50 years or so have we been able to get above the surface, but my father quite restrictive. It is only he that has the ability to pass to the lands above, apart from in a more direct manner, such as the one you took. Some of my people have taken that route, but it requires a vast amount of magic to burrow through the earth upwards. Most of us are still confined to these lower grounds. It is for that reason that I am asking you all and Sebastian, take with you 2 of our people to assist in the land above, but also, from a selfish perspective, to grant them some freedom. Who I'd like to send are my children.
Not to go too far back to clarifying lots of things out of character, but remind me. So, in terms of the purpose of the one coming along and sort of showing that wild elves are not bad, will people know what a wild elf is? Will they look like are they noticeably different?
She only wants to start with sort of you guys, and then sort of perhaps you might tell some of the upper leaders that this is
Hey, they aren't
the
so
wild
bad
elves,
after all.
and this is the wild
Right,
elves, and
right.
they want to live in peace with us, etc. She's trying to further the peace goals. When she talks about this, she sounds almost afraid of the elves. It is worth mentioning that you guys are aware that the Moon Elves are not the current elves. But she
Right.
doesn't seem to be, and Sebastian doesn't seem to have corrected her on it.
I see. I was going to ask about them too, but it's one of those things I couldn't remember if I was remembering wrong or what.
So she still thinks that the Moon Elves are above.
Well, at least that the current elves retain the powers of the Moon Elves.
Lady Real,
And I would imagine that the reason Sebastian hasn't told her that is that if none of her people are afraid of what's above, what's stopping them?
Well, I think Sebastian probably hasn't created her because he doesn't know if there's secretly moon elves around, and
Sure,
he
yeah.
also.
But it is worth mentioning that obviously one of the main reasons her people have stayed below the ground is because they're frightened of the Moon Elves. It might not be something you wish to just casually let them know.
Yeah, FYI, they go.
Well, will they
FYI,
notice
you can wander
immediately
No, not at all.
if we bring them with us?
Ah, right. Give me a intelligence check, Henrik.
How would you
Um,
communicate with your sons while they're
Dice who
with us?
dies.
We cannot.
You cannot communicate with them. Okay. Can they communicate back?
It could be facilitated, but would result in us losing a lot of the protection that we have down here.
Well, I think that solves our issue then.
Sure, but Henrik, sorry, your intelligence check.
9.
If they go chat with some elves, they might find out they're not moon elves. That's what you've got on the situation.
What do we know about the difference between, like, we've seen the statues?
Yeah,
We've
so
heard about them.
physically, almost no difference.
Right.
Theseus has informed you that all of the people that you guys have encountered that are magic users seem to be incredibly weak.
Hmm.
It's not just because he thinks Kiava's a douche. He genuinely thinks that, all of you are incredibly weak magic.
Right.
No.
Real, where is your father currently?
Above ground. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you because that's all I know.
Does he wear a mask?
Oh my goodness!
Doubt it.
Like every NPC we meet, do you know someone who wears a
You are
mask?
100% certain that the masked mage does not date back 3,500 years.
I will die
We
on
hope
this rock
not.
because I hate that man. Alessio will prosecute him to the end of the earth.
This masked mage come about anyway?
Do you not remember
It's
who
the
the
guy
masked
that was
mage is, right?
putting
It's
the
the guy who
sword
puts
Masked
the
mage was
braces on people that
Yeah.
exploded. It's the guy who you know.
Yep.
Hate him.
The
I
Whistler.
hate him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
have
just curious as to how he came at
such
that, as in
detailed
his
notes about the
origin.
Whistler.
I'm
You
curious
don't
where
know.
he is.
You don't know. You don't know where he is. You don't know who he is. You don't know his
Yeah.
origins. You haven't discovered any of that. You went to Veralia instead.
I
Yeah.
need to go to divination wizard.
Sorry, what?
God damn.
Don't worry, that's for later.
Yeah, please. Let's focus on
Okay.
Dave.
Ryle, are you sure you want to send your kids with us? Because
I'm sure they deserve to see the sunlight, if nothing else.
But be,
My lady, Real, if we could converse amongst ourselves for a moment. This is not a task to be taken lightly.
You
Or a
sort of
request, I should say.
considers a moment and very well. And she opens up the sort of passageway where she left in. She doesn't close it again, and as she goes to walk out the door, she sort of gestures backwards, and Sebastian, the cuffs are removed from you.
Oh, thank goodness.
An act of trust. You're free to leave if you wish. And the passageway above is right through that door, right? She oh, sorry. She will tell you how to communicate with her first. If you want to get her attention, there's a secondary route that's sort of on a wall to your left. You just need to place your hand upon it and speak her name.
We shall be long.
You lose the 5 of you to it? There are 5 of you, right? There are.
Yes.
Well, no, because I was thinking with Birch, no Birch, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 5 of you.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Incidentally, Sebastian, when you have the cuffs released, you can't resist the urge to see if you can actually act out that magic that she'd been showing you in those books. You may take the Metamagic Adept feat.
Ooh.
Obviously, he
I
didn't
really
get the gift of the Metallic Dragon that you all got, so don't worry, you're not getting not done by each other.
I really wanted that feat, to be fair, with
Oh, good.
Sebastian.
You may choose which to you get. Probably up to you, because I don't know what's really relevant to you.
Sure.
But yeah, that's just a remnant of their magics. And obviously, you will now feel that you can execute said magic, right? You can do magic. Cool. She leaves you all to it. Please tell me that having secured a room to converse with each other, you are going to talk.
I
Yeah.
wasn't the one who asked for the room.
Oh my
but
god,
yeah.
I was muted there, sorry.
Okay, I was just like, this is real awkward.
Are we to trust this elf, friends?
This one in
Well,
particular, maybe.
I think everything she's told us has the ring of truth, but I'm not so sure about some things she hasn't said, perhaps. It's always the way.
I'm not sure if that extends to the other two.
And it's not that I don't trust her, I just don't think that there's a feasible way for us to execute what she wants us to do.
Well, I mean, all she wants us to do is walk up to the surface with these 2 children of hers, I suppose. I mean, let one of them hang out with us.
I know, Henrik, but I mean, people haven't been particularly kind or welcoming meeting me, a human, in here, or I mean, they haven't. You know, we've dealt with so much prejudice. I genuinely don't think that bringing these 2 kids out into the world right now is going to be good for them or for anyone else.
I have even more of a concern than that. What if it turns out that those 2 are ones that would stab us in the back and stab others in the back?
I
To
didn't
create
even
even
think of
more
that.
of a problem.
Ye of little faith.
We
Well-
were taught this way.
You mean
Seeing what
full
the actions of one of them can do to Rava.
So do you mean that you think this is a ploy by this Riel, or simply that her children might side with their father? Or their
I do not
grandfather, I
know.
suppose?
But I know it should be a possibility that should be considered.
I actually agree with you, Kiavo. We're not judging Riel by her father's actions. We can't judge her children by her actions.
Exactly.
Well, if we can simply walk out over here and go on up, and we have the choice of bring them along with us or not, sounds like they could go on up themselves. So
Good point. So,
She has said that
Any
some elves
havoc
have
then?
attempted to dig upwards in the past.
If her children do want to join their grandfather, isn't that their choice? And also, she just said that even if we don't take them, she wants them at least to be able to see the sun.
Or would you be willing to increase his ranks? If no, well, I mean, kind of, you're right, because if they can just walk up to him, they could just join him now, right?
Well,
But
sure.
remember, we know nothing. We know nothing of this man.
Mm.
We have no idea where he is or
Oh,
what
yeah.
he looks like.
But we also
This-
knew we also knew nothing of Alessio, and he joined us really without batting an eyelid, and now we're gonna deny these people a chance to prove themselves. A
Well,
chance?
technically, we don't know if that's really you. You could actually be an elf in disguise.
I hope I am an elf in disguise. That way I can stab you in the back.
I wish you would. I need.
I'm
a
gonna
thrill.
I'm gonna pick Sebastian up by like his collar, and I'm gonna like look at him.
Collar.
You're not wearing a coat.
I'm wearing it. Oh,
Just
right. I
his
see what
neck.
you mean. I see. It's just cat collar. I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Ruff
No,
his
no.
neck.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't pick you up by the scruff of your
God.
neck, Sebastian. That's pretty rude, man. And I'll sort of just like look at him, and I'll turn back to Leslie and say, "No, this is Sebastian. I'm afraid to say."
I trust you, Torin. Your word is law.
However, I must admit I'm almost siding with him here.
As you
We can't-
should.
I don't believe that any of us have gotten anywhere not trusting in each other. And certainly not very long ago, I didn't know any of you very well, especially not you, Alessio. And look, now we're almost brothers.
Listen, in my heart, I know that you and Sebastian are right, okay? But in my mind, I just feel like something is gonna happen. There's something bad coming, and I feel like the closer we get to these elves and the closer we get to these powers, the closer we get to whatever this weird omen in my head feels like.
I'm gonna start walking towards Alessio, and the orb on my head is gonna start glowing. I could try and turn your mind off if it helps.
Buddy, context clues.
Can you two stop fighting each other? Like, he was bad enough as Birch.
I kind of
Sort your shit out. Like, I feel like there's some carry on from Birch's
But-
annoyance.
No,
I thought they were having banter.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, it's very
They've always had this relationship. Like,
distracting.
look, that's my opinion. I don't know. I feel like it's too dangerous if we do it, and
I mean, when you consider it like this, just a regular person, what's the worst they can do? Murder people. But these people, what's the worst they can do? Unleash primordials and destroy the world as we know it?
You think 2 elves can do that?
One has.
one, yeah.
We don't know how they did it.
In all
I
fairness, I think you would all know that is physically impossible.
Yeah.
Tarathis
like,
has
that's-
taken multiple elves with him to do so.
Right,
Yes, they are
okay.
likely to be powerful mages, or druids, if we're being specific. They are unlikely to be able to single-handedly end the world.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Okay, then maybe the risk of 2
She
more
has
is,
said that she can't overcome
yes.
her father's magic to leave the underground caverns, right?
Yeah,
Ah,
let alone
Let
summoning
alone
things.
summon a primordial.
Yeah,
And you would assume, you might assume incorrectly, but you would assume her children probably aren't as strong as her.
Hmm.
She's
So
2,500 years
how are
old.
we getting them out?
That hasn't been explained to you.
Misunderstood.
We don't know yet.
That hasn't been
We don't
explained.
know how to leave. I don't think we know how to leave. Well, I guess we do know how to leave.
You guys could just walk out.
Yeah. They
But
have
something. There is something preventing them from doing the thing.
Can we just
She
look
said it
at-
takes.
There's
Yeah,
souls.
she's left the passageway open for you guys to just head up. If you wish
But
to
not the way
contact
we
her
came.
to take, yes, the way you can.
We fell. Well, they
Well, no,
fell.
yes. I mean, if you were to go out that way, it would be very difficult for you. I'm not denying that. You would have to go down a river and climb up a passageway.
Well,
or
no,
something.
I'm not. I guess I'm more saying the way we go out will be a different way that they came in, right? So we'll pop up a different place.
Yes, you would assume. Well, you
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't.
Yeah, she's leaving it to you guys. If you have a way of finding your own way out, then you may do so.
I don't know why I'm debating because I fly. We cannot just fly.
Well, exactly, right? You have ways. You would have to swim the wrong way
Yeah,
down a river,
sorry,
so you'd have to work
yes.
out a way of that. But yes, you have ways of getting out. Obviously, she has said that her children can't without your assistance.
We should go the other way that the river split. That's where we should go.
I'm not even going to address how you're going to swim backwards against the current
We can
down
fly.
the river.
Oh no, we can't fly because there's a river. Yeah.
There's a river,
Yeah.
yes.
Um,
I've reconsidered it, and I've changed my mind.
Ooh.
I think that having Riel as one of our possible allies and her powers might be far more beneficial, even if her father gets 2 additional allies. If they turn their back on us and backstab us, we can still come back to Riel, and we can get more elves out. Look, her father's already out there causing trouble. It's not going to be 2 more soldiers that are going to change the scales, right?
A
But
reminder
if
as
there's
well
just-
that it is her children who would need to cast the spell that puts a constant downpour on this land for 2 years to repair the damage dealt to above.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that I've changed my mind.
I feel like Theseus would be incredibly displeased at the thought of that, but
Theseus
my
is a
grasp.
book.
You could
Theseus is
also
wise.
ask, said Theseus, right? Instead of just assuming his
Oh.
opinions.
True. We could ask
Okay.
Theseus.
Then, yeah, sure, I shall actually consult Theseus then.
Okay. As you open up the book, the pages begin to reflect constantly. Until what is on the page in front of you is the chamber that you're sitting in, or something similar to it. In the place of the roots on the walls are vast crystals that almost resemble the same pattern. In the place of the passageway that opened up is a door, the markings of a tree sort of engraved into it. Theseus sort of, in a tone a little unlike anything you've ever heard him come out with before, says, "Our magic, the magic of the Moon Elves, been subverted. See,
Your magic.
it's no secret
walk
that
to
I
these
was once a
caverns.
Moon Elf. Long time ago, prior to their existence in this precise manner, and perhaps not these exact caverns, but caverns like them, caverns made in this manner. Yes, we stored many of our vast repositories of knowledge under the earth, places like this. Chambers that would only open to the touch of certain people of certain blood. You're in a Moon Elf place, but the magic is not of the Moon Elves. You have questions, Devil?
Any of the wild elves we trusted.
This entity, this book, has learned much since it walked the earth. As a man. Man who placed his soul in this book would tell you no.
You have different thoughts on the matter now.
And see in hindsight that locking a people away for an eternity, perhaps a little heavy-handed. Though, at the time we thought it the only solution.
Understandable, but to condemn a fate to an entire people, which could have been ascribed to only a few.
Could it?
Unforeseen results, indeed. We can
The
say.
connection the Wild Elves have with the Primordials is into you being able to call upon a god to assist you in any action, any time. Provided you are willing to offer it enough in return. If that god only desired wanton destruction, easy parley with such people.
That's true.
I'm afraid that my advice does not come from a newfound sympathy or understanding for the wild elves. I think you must treat with these people, for you have no way of stopping them.
Especially since Tarava has been released.
Amongst others, I would assume. The magic of all of your peoples is so diluted, so thin, so weak. What chance do you have if they rise up against you in full? Perhaps you should retreat with them, because the other option is to lose a war with them. That is my opinion.
It's a fine tightrope to be walking, but I guess walk it we must.
Should you end up at war with these people, there are methods of reawakening the Moon Elf magic, reasserting the bond it holds on the Wild Elves. May not assist you with those who have already escaped, may at least contain the rest.
Would be a last
Is the book
resort,
talking to
though,
all of
really.
us?
Yes. Which it almost never does, by the way.
Okay.
Sorry, Calvin, you asked a question in that time and I didn't hear it.
Yeah, that's fine. That would be a last resort, really, because that would be condemning a fate onto people who may not have had any desire on releasing.
Beyond that, this one would be very reluctant to show you those magics unless they were absolutely necessary.
I understand.
You do not, but that will suffice.
Okay, then I'll respect it.
The reawakening of that magic would result in a reawakening and re-dying, I suppose, of my entire race.
Oh,
Who knows will be called forth only to give their lives once again in sacrifice immediately afterwards. A hard thing to ask of anyone.
no doubt. Then I'll keep that in mind as a last resort.
He just sort of sighs under his breath, and the entire fate of the Moon Elves entrusted to one incompetent Leonin.
Chiavo and Theseus, it's that magic that binds them down here that's of interest to me. This lady seems to want us to help her get her kids out of here, and I don't know. You know so far much more about that than I do. That is there any way that this is a ploy of breaking the seal entirely and letting out more than just the ones that she wants to send with us?
Them to escape, they must do one of two things. Break the seal entirely, as you say, which would be an act of force. Nothing that such weak mages as yourselves could assist with. Or they would individually have to become... Fucking mind! They would have to individually become not
Theseus.
wild elves. What that entails, how they have worked that out. Oh no.
All right then.
When we passed the binds that kept the wild elves beneath the ground, we did not attempt to imprison the worms, snakes, the etc. spiders. We did account for birds known as wild shape. They still maintain their soul. I don't know how they're facilitated.
So,
Well, 2,000 years trapped in a cave can make you quite resourceful.
I would assume that over those years they generated the magical power to break the seal forcefully, at least in part. The fact they're still sealed underground means that some of the seal remain. Not all of it.
has anyone changed their minds with this information?
It makes Sebastian not like the Moon Elves even more.
Yeah.
Because it's like heavily like borderline genocide. And
It was
stuff,
genocide.
So.
It
Yeah,
But
is.
it was
yeah.
twofold genocide. You've got to remember that they wiped their own race to wipe out the wild elves.
Yeah. So I just, Sebastian don't like the thought of locking anyone away indefinitely.
Then, if I may, I will give Riel the news that we'll be traveling with her sons,
Son and daughter, actually.
son and daughter, with her children.
Yeah.
I'll go to her.
I'm in
Theseus
agreement.
calls out, wait!
Hmm?
Yavo, please close the book, seal it, and put it away.
Of course. And I'll do so.
After which, sure.
I wanna. Is she alone?
You have no idea.
We have to
You have
call
to
her. We
talk
have
to
to
her,
tap
Rubes.
on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, I thought I was gonna walk. I was
No.
gonna walk out.
You can walk out.
I
You
want to
won't fight
have.
her.
Yeah, Riel, like we're ready. I need to
Okay.
speak to you.
A few moments pass, and you hear her footsteps outside. Want to go out and try and speak to her alone, Alessio? I don't know how your
I would-
party will respond to that, but
I would like to have a word with her alone,
Oh Jesus.
if that's okay.
how did the party respond to that? Everyone okay with that?
Whatever
would
might this be about.
I've proven myself.
Have you?
At any point?
I've been smart. I've been
Oh,
smart
sure.
lately.
You wanted
Well,
to lock him away a second ago.
I've been more
Alessio-
considerate. I promise.
Alessio, far be it from me to be untrusting of others, but
Look, guys,
perhaps
I
we
want to
could just
ask
accompany
her.
you and.
I'll be honest. I want to ask her about resurrecting my mother. I have no quandros. You guys know that this is what I want to do. I want to see if she knows anything about that magic. If she knows if her father is capable of that magic. I need to know. Okay.
So be it.
Is this? But this is something that we are helping you with, right? So we should really know what you're asking and the information you're getting.
Okay.
Sorry, I was very distracted by the lack of this information. If you wish to go and speak to her about the resurrection of your father being my guest.
No. Sebastian changed my mind.
Oh.
I'll wait for her to come in the room.
Okay.
Sneaky.
Riel comes into the
sneaky.
room and... So,
Riel.
do I judge by the fact you've called me back that you would accept my bargain?
No, we're leaving. I'm joking. Yes.
Stab.
Might I introduce my children to you?
Before you do, I need to ask you something.
Yes.
I didn't come to Voralia entirely just because I want to see the world not be destroyed by whatever your father is doing. I've been chasing what some have considered unattainable, and I was wondering if you knew anything about magic that may bring someone back from the dead, someone that died a long time ago.
A long time ago, and your years or ours?
Ours,
That's funny.
in my years.
My people once knew of the art of reincarnation, but I assume you'd want them to come back the same way they departed. The same person?
In a way, I just want to be able to say goodbye.
That does not require returning a person to their body.
So, you're saying
You can speak with
Like-
somebody who has passed beyond without turning them to a body.
truly?
It requires the intervention of a god or a visit to the fugue plane, but apart from that,
How-
Just simple things.
In less magic-y words,
a
how
primordial
one
could
go-
assist you. A
And
god
I
or
suppose
goddess.
there's...
You no longer have powerful priests above ground who can do this.
Oh yes, we do. Very, very powerful. Right.
The fact
That's a lot
that
to think about.
Sebastian thinks of himself as one of the more powerful wizards he has met already tells me that which you're trying to hide from him.
Well, Sebastian isn't really a measure for.
Nevertheless,
anything.
it is true that the magic of your peoples has been
Sorry, buddy.
diluted many-fold, is it not? I've withheld this information from almost all my people since I discovered it from Sebastian. I intend to continue to do so if that alleviates any of your fears. I fear if my people knew the strength of the magic users above ground, they would not hesitate.
Is there a
Claim what they
way?
believe is rightfully theirs. Do you wish to speak to the departed person, or do you wish to return them to
Yes.
life? Which?
Well, at first I wish to return them to life, but as of recently, I wish to speak to them first and understand their intentions.
You need a cleric, priest, not a druid. I
Maybe in a
myself,
past life I was a cleric, but
I myself have the power to return one who has long passed the life, but only in a form that they may not choose. How the gods will work their will on this, I do not know.
You know, if you had told me that a few months ago, I would have said yes, signed the deal, and shaken your hand, but I think I want to do this more carefully than just bringing my mother back in whatever form it may be.
From what I understand of your race, that is an incredibly measured sentence for your people.
I've been learning from Henrik.
In many druids are, perhaps not anymore, but in the past, many druids could reincarnate somebody within a short period, even a short period for you, perhaps 3 or 4 days. Death could reincarnate them. Some of us have the ability to coax those with higher powers to acts of trivial means for them, but how those paths convene, I can make no guarantees. This lost person to you may appear somewhere else in this world, as someone else on this world, a different race, and temperament. They would have their memories, but little else. It would be rash to do such a thing without specific intent.
But my decision has been made. Not right now. But there is one last thing that I must insist on before we leave.
Yes.
You must find a way to communicate with your children in the outside world. No child should be without speaking to their parents.
To do so, I would have to pass the seal. Blocks communication between us and other world elves.
Is there... I've seen this before, an enchanted object that allows people to communicate even at distance. Is there something you could do for them?
Not through this seal. Not as wild elves, but we've spent 1,600 years in each other's company. A few years we'll be okay.
Well, also.
Sorry, Hennik's about to ask a really relevant question. Can I just let Hennik?
Am I?
Think so. Go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, you managed to hijack my message with Sebastian well enough.
It is true. I could communicate with you through this seal.
But
Blocks
not
communication
with another
between
wild elf.
high elves. Between wild elves, yes, sorry.
Wild elves, yeah. I was just going to say, me and Henrik can communicate on their behalf to the mums.
Right.
That would be most appreciated. And perhaps a way of you keeping tabs, if you will. Obviously, that may work for my daughter, but my son will not be traveling with you.
Right.
It would be perhaps a little more difficult. His task is more
It
dangerous.
does
I
remind
think.
me.
Would you like to
It
meet
does
them?
remind me that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh. No, I just wondered whether before we plan to leave this place, whether we should find out or decide whether we need to try to rescue old Birch, and if we can do better from down here than from leaving.
Birch has made it quite clear that he would like to reside with our people. Unlike Sebastian, I must be honest, he is not being kept prisoner. He is here of his own choice. He wants to learn more of the natural ways of the world with our people. And he wants to understand more of returning the world to nature. You can speak with him if you wish.
I think that would be best.
Feel free. We do so.
Just about the only thing around this place that we can verify in any way whatsoever. So,
She gestures towards the route. that she placed out, that Alessio used to communicate with her.
Boy, Hennick likes roots, but he really wants to do this without their interference.
I'm afraid that bringing him such a vast distance in such a short period of time would be almost impossible.
Well, I
He's
could
not with
just
my people.
couldn't I just send him a message my
Oh,
own way?
by all means. If you have the magic to spare, then very well. She was only offering the service to prevent you from needing to use the spell slots.
I understand.
Yeah, if
but,
you, go ahead.
I would sooner do it without the method that she has control over.
Just to clarify before you sending, Josh, this will be you.
Hi.
That
Yeah,
yeah. I've given you Birch's overall outlook, but his more direct response is completely up to Josh.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not going to count carefully. I don't have too much to say. All right. Birch, Hennick. We lost you back there. Want to make sure you're all right and that you want to stay because that's what they've told us. Let us know.
Okay. Hennick, this is Birch.
Catastrophic use of words.
I am safe. I am with people of like mind. You would fit well here. Stay safe on your travels. Good luck.
Now satisfied with that, and then so that everybody can understand what has happened, Hennick will touch the root and attempt to use that to speak to him.
That was creepy as shit. You touched the root and Josh's phone buzzed.
Yes.
I'm contacting you.
It was all planned.
Yes.
Well, all right then. I don't know if there's any way for you to get anyone's attention if you end up wanting out of here. But we're going to move on, I think, and try to do what we were after. Help things out.
I think I'm going to let you know this. Because I don't know. Let me send something to Josh.
Ooh.
I'll let him decide if he discloses it.
I'm in the business of secrets. Type.
He may disclose that if he wishes.
He does not.
But I will clarify for you all. She has said that Birch is not a prisoner. He is here of his free will.
Now I can't remember what Hennick said.
Hennick said, I hope that you've got a way of making it known that you wish to go above ground if you do.
Oh. You don't need to worry about me, Hennick. I would take care of your own party first. I doubt we'll see each other again.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
In a pleasant sense. Like I said, keep yourself safe. And by it's very pointed that yourself meaning you, not your party. And then the call will end.
Wait, can I say like something before
Oh
disconnect?
god, it's ringing again. Hello?
I just to clarify, you're placing your hand on the root, Alessio. Birch is not having to place his hand on the roots.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Hello?
receiving a message.
Stop. Okay, hold
It's
on.
Bluetooth. Hello?
Birch, I know that we didn't say goodbye on the best of terms. And I know that our journey together wasn't on the best of terms, but regardless, I hope that whatever your choice is, that if we do meet again. Look, what I'm just trying to say is I'm not sure if traveling with you has changed me for the better, but I know that at least I've been changed for good.
Oh,
Oh,
my
fuck
man's
off.
quoting Wicked.
Fuck off.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Birch.
I hope you melt into a puddle.
I hope you're happy in the end, Glinda.
Thank you.
Anyway, Wicked references
No,
were
no, no,
fine.
but,
I think,
Well, regardless,
I think
I feel like
can we have a Birch response if Birch would?
Yeah, Birch will respond. Birch will say, unfortunately, what I had never experienced humans before meeting you, and unfortunately, you exemplified everything that I'd ever been told about them. And so, if this is goodbye, I hope for your sake we don't meet on a battle. End call.
it was nice meeting you too, Birch.
Okay. Oh, that's a bit louder than I was expecting. As your call is sort of finishing up, two people enter the room. A female elf
Ooh.
and a male elf.
Ooh.
They are quite clearly twins.
He's got the tattoo of Mathal.
He may well do. He has the
does.
tattoo of I'm a fucking druid.
Okay. It's a Dragon Age character.
Sure,
Yeah.
but just in general, like it's quite hard to find twin-like art on the internet for elves. I did my best. At least they're both ginger. Yeah. So one is Yadra, but she's known as Gia, and the other one is Kalthoras or Cal. Cal is the one who has been entreated with going forth and reversing as much of his grandfather's work as possible. Gia is to travel with you briefly. And as she comes in, she sort of, hi, hey, how's it going? You're Sebastian's friends. Sebastian. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Hi.
The pleasure is ours.
Yes, indeed, my lady. Welcome to this noble
I'm no lady.
adventuring party.
Oh Lord.
Does he always speak like that?
No,
Yes,
only in front
he
of very
does.
beautiful women.
He-
Hennig.
Well,
And this is
uh,
Hennig.
Let's establish before anything that you don't stand a chance. But I understand I'll be traveling with you. How's it going? I look forward to the journey. I'm very grateful for you offering me this opportunity. Oh, she's not a lesbian. She just thinks you're ugly.
Brutal.
I will
yeah,
not be
you'll-
coming back to
you'll-
the session today.
You'll
Checked out.
get used to him eventually.
Oh,
Well,
how unfortunate. Well, this is my brother. Doesn't talk much. Quiet type, aren't you? And she sort of elbows him and I'll sort of... I just don't bandy about needless words.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet the both of you. I'm Torin Goldenbrand.
The gentleman just inclines his head, says nothing. Whereas she sort of comes up for like a real meaty like handshake, and she sort of grabs your hand and then sort of is a little surprised as to the strength of your grip, and she looks up a little bit and you're tall. Nice to
I've
meet
been
you.
told. Thank you, and you as well.
oh, that's Kiava. He doesn't talk much.
Again, the gentleman sort of nods his head and he sort of reaches over to Kiavo and goes to sort of clap her hand in his. You're tall. Hi,
Hi.
good to meet you.
I guess we'll be traveling together then.
That we will. I hear you're a wizard.
Somewhat.
Just a hint of disdain.
She was going to say highly accomplished, but she couldn't say it seriously in front of Sebastian. It's probably being quite disparaging. Yes. She looks to Hennick, who I don't think.
Well, hello there. Good to meet you.
She's
And
unsure whether to shake your hand or like do something else, so she sort of puts her hand down towards you.
yeah, he puts his hand up, shakes her hand.
A pleasure, I'm sure.
No doubt. Have to say, I'm kind of glad the talkative one is the one going to go along with us. And turns to the brother and says, "You know, if I were going to limit myself to only the most needful words, I don't know that Bandy would make the list. But good to meet you anyhow."
I apologize if I seem a little gruff. The task placed upon my shoulders is a weighty one and a difficult one. It would
So
be
we
remiss if I
understand.
didn't say that I was worried and frightened.
Well, it's quite all right. Not many other 1600-year-old elves have been given such responsibility.
Don't mind my brother, he's always that miserable. Right, am I to understand this ritual is excruciating? She looks at her mother. And, her mother says, "Well, I haven't actually explained what's going to be necessary." And with that, she places 2 books on the table. These are made of a wooden cover, like actual genuine bark of a tree. Parchment in between. And upon those, she sets a crystal dagger. Like a small jutting piece of crystal, I guess. She then picks up a tome herself and she begins to sort of read. And from what you understand, they're going to have to pour their entire soul and being into the book. And you will have to recall it out at the other end by shattering the dagger.
Oh.
I've seen that before, and I'll look
Damn.
at Theseus. Wait, no.
You will not look at
He's
Theseus,
not
he is
out.
not present.
He's not out.
But it should
I'll
be
look at
very
Kiavo.
clear that this is quite obviously the Moon Elf magic that created Theseus.
Trendy now.
Everybody
doing it.
gets a new subclass. We've all got books now.
Uh,
1d4 attack with a page.
I'm afraid that none of
Yes.
you have lived long enough to fill a book.
Oh,
No, but we could just not let them out of their books and use them like Theseus.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Everybody becomes an Order of Scribes wizard. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's brilliant. I love that.
James,
Yeah.
does Sebastian age
Sebastian
in this
H.
farm? Yeah, does he?
I would say that over the past 2 years, which is how long it's been since you transformed,
Uh-huh.
you haven't experienced any signs of aging. That doesn't necessarily mean that you don't age. It might just mean that your body doesn't age. Who knows
Oh,
what
so
your life
eventually-
expectancy is? We don't know.
Okay, cool.
If the campaign runs that long, it will be us dying before Sebastian. The
I just
players.
imagine. I just imagine like Sebastian being like 1,000-year-old, but like with a really like long white beard. You know.
Quite possibly. But they will. At this point, even Gia looks a little hesitant, I guess. Her mother sort of, Riel says, "It'll be all right. You know, we have tried this before. Even if we didn't transport the books out, it'll be all right. I promise. I wouldn't risk you. I didn't know." Your hand upon the book, that's it. Well, you've got to flash your hand first, but, you know, put your hand upon the book. I'll begin the ritual. As she begins to sort of cast, Hennick, Sebastian, and Chiavo may all give me an Arcana check. Hennick, you may make yours with Wisdom.
Are they cutting their palm of their hands?
They cut the palm of their hand, place it on the book.
That's awful. That'll never heal.
Yep, it will never heal. You are correct. That's alright though, because they're going to die in a minute, so I don't think they're too bothered about the hand getting a scar.
I got a 19.
Hennick?
Sorry, I have to do a lot of calculating to figure out what mine will be.
Are you proficient in
to do
Arcana?
with- Yes, but I also have a random minus. I'm proficient, but I have a -1, and now I'm rolling it with wisdom, which is a +3. So it's a D.
Yeah, so it should just be
plus
whatever you roll
6.
+3. If you just roll me Arcana and just add +3, right?
Yeah. Right.
Or +4 if your intelligence is a -1.
Total of no.
16,
See,
yeah.
that's
16.
yeah. Why did it add from 11 to 12? That's half my That's
Because
my
of your,
jack traits nonsense
jack
in
traits.
there.
Yeah.
But
That's fine. 16's
I
good.
thought I'm
I'll take a
listed as
16.
proficient.
Yeah, I'll take a 16. That's fine. And Kiavo, you also got a 16?
Yeah, I was trying
Right.
to see if I could boost that in any way. I
No,
can't.
that's alright. You're all gonna get slightly different things from this. Kiavo, you will notice that the language is a form of Elvish so old you barely recognize it. Some of the words call from Draconic and Primordial, older languages than even Elvish. But this ancient form of Elvish is elaborate and twisting. Hennick, it seems as if, as you look at the twins, that their life force is being drained. Can't help but be reminded of that tree that the trunk, like the log, that was under the wax. As their life is being siphoned out of them, they're going grey and pale in skin. They were already very pale, to be fair. They've been underground for 2,500 years. But yes, you sort of see the blood leave their skin. Even their hair loses colour, goes grey, etc. upon the ground. You understand that this transforming of life force, if you like. Sebastian, yours was a 19, right?
It was, yes.
Yeah, you get the impression that this is something anyone could do, but most people would just create like a phylactery, right? It would just be a soul store. Because of their age and their magical prowess, they're pouring more than that in. They're pouring their magical essence in. This is something that you and Kiavo could perhaps do to a minor extent. For example, if you created a phylactery, it might manifest some small magical powers. But much like Theseus, theirs is going to manifest quite a large amount of magical power. One thing you will know as well, all three of you, is that this magic is not arcane in the wizardy sense. It's not particularly similar to the bardic magic that Hennick uses. If anything, it'll remind you of Natasha's magic. Or most specifically of Birch's. Right? It is clearly druidic. And as the ritual continues, the bodies of Gia and Cal fall lifeless to the ground. Riel picks each one up very gently. They are lighter than they should be, and she hands one to Torin and one to Kiavo. Their bodies will need to be carried as well, or you'll be not able to return them to their natural bodies. He will hand the books to Sebastian. He looks to Sebastian and... I'd like to think we became friends, at least. The time you were here. Did my best to treat you fairly. Enjoyed your company.
Thank you.
Travel
I know.
safely, little one. And,
Well,
look
you're
after my
putting a lot
children.
of trust in us.
I haven't many choices these days. None of them are good
yeah,
ones.
but this is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
We won't let you down.
No, you won't. And you
Well, we
sense there
won't.
that there is an element of her that sort of... You see a real steel beneath the calm, gentle persona. You get the impression that should you let her down, your lives will be fairly short, even for a human.
Yeah, no doubt.
Empty threats, because you can't actually get out of here. But
Well,
I promise we won't let you down anyways.
They can get out
Swear.
by breaking the seal, don't forget that. But
What about the moon elves outside, Rael?
Oh yeah, what about that?
I'll try to hide a chuckle.
You
I'll try to
never
hide a
know.
chuckle.
Yeah.
And with that, as she places the books in Sebastian's hand, She hands the dagger to Henrik, one for each of them, and says, "The very souls of my children are in those books and in those daggers. If it comes to it, shatter the crystal upon the book. Place their hands upon the books." She smiles and, "The love of God, don't get the wrong one. They would kill me.
I was about to say.
Good luck." With that, we'll take a short break. Hello and welcome back to the second half of Beldania episode 37. You are in a room with Riel and 2 books that contain her children. You
Yes,
have their
just
lifeless
quickly.
bodies in your hand, and she has suggested that she can. Well, she can't, but she believes that between Chiavo and Sebastian, they'll be able to create a teleportation circle. The teleportation circle up above in Verania, where you left.
No, not teamwork.
Well, she's just going to give you the scroll. You can both write it into your books. She has 3 scrolls. She can't use any of them. She's a druid.
That's fine.
So, yeah, basically, she will give you the requisite materials and suggest that you cast Teleportation Circle. You will be able to cast it from the scroll, so you're not expending a spell slot. And as you stand in this room, you begin to sort of, with her aid, paint the glyphs into the ground. If you remember, this doesn't create a permanent teleportation circle, but you're teleporting to a permanent teleportation circle. She guides you to thinking very clearly at the last teleportation circle you teleported to, which, if you remember, was just by this wax forest, effectively, which is what you're trying to.
Yeah.
You're trying to.
Torn will
solve
grab
anyway.
one of the other body from Leah. From
Well, you've got one, and
Cavo. I've got
Cavo has the
Cavo, but
other.
so
You're
that he
gonna
can
pick both?
concentrate on. So that
Oh.
he can concentrate on.
Yeah, briefly. I mean, I think Cavo's the one for
Teleportation
roach
circling.
magic.
Yeah, yeah.
Sebastian's just standing behind and sort of hand on
I'll
hips,
just
looking
hold
critically at the failure. Yeah, you can give Alessio the other.
Oh
body,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Alessio could hold him. Yeah, exactly.
You'll note that Riel gave nothing to Alessio at all. She trusted everyone else with something. But
She's a bitch to me.
well, no, it's more a case of the fact that at first you wanted to keep her locked away.
Die, Riel, die.
Literally.
Just kidding, I actually love her.
yeah,
She can
she's
be as mean
wonderful.
as she wants.
Anyway, and during this sort of teleportation, as this magic is cast, the sort of runes glow on the ground briefly, and there is a moment of like hesitation, or sort of in the magic, as it senses a seal that is blocking this teleportation. And Riel looks to you and, "I should leave the room. Good luck. Farewell. Travel safely." And as she leaves, she sort of strokes the hair of her daughter, kisses the brow of her son. She nods and walks out the room, at which point the magic starts to flow much more freely. And then you, all at the center of the circle, standing in it, getting ready to teleport, and you feel this sort of, like being pulled upwards by your navel. It's dizzying, it's like vertigo. It didn't feel like this before when you teleported. And the glyphs glow very briefly a dark purple color. You find yourselves not where you expected to be. Instead, you find yourself in a small area of the forest with with 2 men standing either side of you. As they look over to you, and I don't think you'll be leaving with those.
Why?
Rathus has deemed it that no elves may leave without his permission. Don't think we don't sense this. Attempted escape. Darkness. Will not achieve this.
You
Yes.
don't have to do this.
Yes, I do.
We're trying to save the world, if that makes your mind any different.
Your world is not worth saving in the form it's in.
Okay.
We seek to return it to what it
Okay,
should be.
then.
Look at the damage you've caused this
I'll
earth.
start
Look at the
building.
rifts beneath the
Yeah,
ground.
I'll
And with
start
that,
building. Yeah.
he's sort of
Felicity and my
Alessio,
shield.
please. 1 moment. He says, sort of, look at the rifts within the ground. Look at what the destruction you've wrought upon the earth. Look at these man-made buildings causing such havoc. Raise your pitiful magics against us. We'll return our people to the earth. And with that, he sort of raised his arms as if to start casting. and I will ask each of you to roll initiative, please.
FYI, James, I only have a black screen right now.
Yeah, me too.
Let's murder these terrorists.
You have a black screen?
Yeah, I think I've been given vision.
Will these be moon elves?
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
the
are
wild-
moon elves, yes.
Oh,
Moon elves? You mean wild elves?
Wild
Yeah,
elves.
look
wild
at these
elves,
guys.
Sorry,
They
that
blend.
confused me there.
They blend so well into the terrain.
Yeah, sorry, they're not very visible.
Oh, I see.
I mean, that makes sense.
But there is one there and one there.
yeah.
Alessio, as you see this magic begin to cast, what are you doing?
Damn, I wasn't ready to go first. Stupidly, because
They can go before you if you want.
no.
No, don't do that.
Are they holding an arcane focus?
I don't think you know enough about druids to know whether they are doing so or not.
I've traveled with these guys for a while, and I've taken some curiosity. Like,
Well,
do they have any?
You haven't traveled with a druid other than Birch, and he had a staff. They don't have a staff.
Can I make a check to see if there is anything else like allowing them to cast this?
I will say
The
you do
ritual?
not know. They haven't cast a ritual. They're just casting a spell on you. I would say you do not know
Right.
enough about especially these types of druids, have any idea what they are doing.
All right.
Apart from the fact they're casting a spell, they're saying magic words.
Maybe if you attack them, they'll disrupt the magic.
Yeah, I'll just do the fighter thing.
That is your class.
So we're with Miss Felicity.
Just a heads up.
Um,
I think I said this last time we used this playlist, but the music is probably a little louder, so you may want to turn down your overall music volume for the sake of combat, because I can't be bothered to edit every track. Sorry, you pulled out Felicity and did what with a hope?
I'm gonna roll to hit, but I'm gonna add a precision attack to that,
Okay.
which will increase my roll to a 19.
A 19 will hit.
Okay. I'll be wielding Felicity with two hands for this fight,
Okay.
because if they're casters, they're not gonna be trying
So
to.
your armor class is 20, correct?
Yeah, I'll change that in just a second.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's
Just clarifying.
13 damage.
Yep.
And then let's hit again. Ooh. I'll do another precision attack. So it's gonna be 14 plus 8. So that's
22 hits.
22. Let's see damage. So 200 is 11.
Yep. And some of that is
Um,
psychic, correct? Clarify.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And
They don't
I'm
appear
just
to be
gonna
resistant
add.
to it.
Okay. Yeah. So that's 13 in total
Okay.
for that one.
What?
And
No,
I'm
that
gonna-
is adding the psychic damage in that roll.
Mhm.
If you see it was a 9 plus 2, which is 11.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna end my turn there for now because I need to look at my battle sheets.
Was there not a second D8 on that second attack? You rolled
Would there
precision
be-
attack on both, right?
Precision attack is to hit.
Oh, I thought it also added damage. Okay, not bad.
I'll end my turn there.
Okay. That brings us to the druid on the left. He will ask each of you to make a strength saving throw, please.
I would
With the
like to
possible
say no to that one. I would
exception
like
of-
to counter his spell. Because he's casting a spell, yes.
Okay. Yep, that is absolutely fine. As he sort of reaches out to cast a blanket magic on you, you block his spell. And then he will ignore that. Oh no, don't ignore that. That was correct. He will fire out 2 blasts. An 11 will miss Sebastian. A 17, I'm assuming, will also miss Torin. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, I'm really sorry. That's going to go to Chiavo, not Torin. It's the wrong person at the top. 17 to hit Chiavo.
Yeah, that'll hit. I can't react.
Yeah, I wanted to hit the two people at the top. I just misunderstood whose picture was whose.
That's fine.
So that is 21 fire damage, and you are blind until the start of his next turn. Sebastian, you're
Okay.
up.
Okay. I am going to. This guy is the one that's being casting magic, right?
They both casted spells. This one
Oh,
just
they're
got counter spelled. This one is
Okay, so
casting. The reason I'm saying casting is because obviously combat all happens at the same time, right? So this isn't
Sure,
like it's
sure.
a 2-round spell. It's just you know that his turn is going to begin with a cast.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's fine. So I'll attack this guy. I'll throw out a Rin's prismatic orb.
Okay.
That's a 24 to hit.
24 hits.
Nice. And then I need to also find out which were D8. Okay, so this will be 5d10 of acid damage. That's 19 acid
I'm
damage.
afraid he appears to be resistant to that.
Oh, fuck you.
I will
bitch.
give you that if one is resistant to something, you will assume they both are. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine. The more you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I
Henrik?
think. Actually, I'll move over here.
Okay. Love that for you. Henrik, you're up.
Yeah, and I just read enough detail on a spell to know what I was going to do is fucked. So now I'm not sure. Let me just. Well, I guess I'm just gonna. Oh boy, I want to try to get our friends out. Do we know any? Did they tell us anything about that reversing process?
Yes, you have to shatter the crystal on the book, place their hand on the book, and you will assume that it takes 10 to 15 minutes.
Right, that's the part, and I figured there was
it's
probably
the
something
same
like that.
same length of time as it took to put them in it.
Yeah.
Also, probably don't want to put their lives at risk in that way right now.
Right.
Yeah.
It's well, if it was instantaneous, I was going to consider it.
Oh,
but,
they'd
yeah.
be definitely very helpful. You're right. They may
Right.
even share a stat block with these guys.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's just go for a good old quick ray of frost on the upper left one for the
Okay.
moment.
That's a con save, correct? Or is that a hit?
No, it's an attack.
I never know
roll,
which
and
one's ray of frost and which
that's-
one's frostbite.
Because I can't get natural ones, but why did the second one not add my bonus? Oh, there
It
it
did.
is.
10 plus 8, right?
Yeah,
18.
Yeah, 18. Yeah.
Sorry, it's showing up weird on my screen.
That's right. 18
Okay.
hits.
Okay, and it is 13 cold damage.
He's slowed, correct?
And there's yes. However, kind of want to get him closer. Anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna try to yank him 5 feet towards me.
Okay.
My bonus. Now that's a strength save, I assume.
It's a 3.
Okay.
Because I rolled a save originally for the because I thought it was a save instead of it's a hit.
Mm.
I'm just going to give you the 2 that I rolled.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Yeah, does that conclude your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna move down a little ways though, back up against the rock here. I think there's
Okay.
some rock or something there.
Nice. Yeah, good placement. I'll ask for a dex save from you three. Torin, Sebastian, and Henrik, please.
Well, Henrik will at least get the +4.
I think they both will, won't they? Or is
Oh,
that
nice.
is that a little more? Oh, it's 15. Yeah, just Henrik.
I'm gonna use my reaction to counterspell that.
Beautiful. Okay, no dex saves to be made. Love that for you.
Made a 27.
Well,
Save
it
it for
didn't
next
work.
time.
Yeah, and he this is gonna say staff attack. It's not. It's gonna say wildfire, but it's not. It's not a ranged attack. Clarify. It's a 24 to hit you, Alessio.
It hits.
Okay, and that is 25 poison damage.
Oh, I'm resistant to poison
Are you?
because of my obsidian flint dragon plate.
Okay, love that.
Nice.
Upon noticing this, he will use a different attack, which I rolled a nat 20 for.
That hits.
Okay. If nobody can do anything about that, Do we use dangerous crits? We don't, do we?
No.
And a crits. You'll take 39 acid damage, that is.
Convenient of him.
Sorry, no, that's not correct. I've rolled the poison damage as acid damage. It's a 4d6, so it should be 8d6. Double, plus 5. So it's 36 acid damage. There you go, it's 3 less.
36.
Isn't that nice?
Gotcha. Cool.
That concludes his turn. Torin, you're up.
Okay, question. What is happening with the bodies? Do we have to worry about them right now, or can we sort of just like lay them
You will
down?
notice that they have been incredibly careful not to harm the bodies.
Oh, interesting.
I probably wouldn't take advantage of that and use them as a shield at the dick move. Let's just say that they are plot armored.
But considering these guys are quite powerful, I think that shit. I may have to split up with Alessio and attack this guy. So I'm gonna move towards.
Oh, my bestie.
I know, but I'm afraid that Kiabo is gonna get whacked or something here. I will move up to help assist my friend Kiabo here, and I will try to lay the smack down on this elf bastard.
Okay, go ahead, roll to hit.
17 to hit.
17 hits.
Nice.
They don't look like they're wearing armor. I should mention that.
Interesting. Good to know.
Their
I'm
skin, however,
going
does look a little
to.
barky. Woof, woof.
Interesting. I'm gonna pump a big old smite into this one.
Go for it.
It's gonna be a level.
Have you given me the physical
3.
damage yet?
Not yet.
Okay,
no.
cool. Right, it's just terrifying.
So that'll just be 15.
Yep.
15 plus. What am I rolling here? I haven't done smites in such a long time. Shit, 2d.
48.
Plus another 48. Yeah. That's not bad.
28?
28 radiant on top of the 15.
Yeah, it looks like it might have annoyed him a little bit.
Nice. Well, here comes another one. That's a 21, which will hit, I assume, for another 15 slashing. And I will use a second level smite as I pump radiant energy into the fang for 15
Okay,
extra damage.
Nice.
that concludes your turn.
Does it?
They weren't casting rituals. I did make that clear. It's just that everything happens in one round, so they were casting a spell. And I was just making it obvious that they were going to start their turn with a spell. Both Entangle and Fairy Fire were camp spells. Torin, does that conclude your turn?
I am going to expend a second level spell slot, and I will cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay, cool. Why a second level spell slot?
Sorry, a first level spell slot.
Okay.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, oh, you're up.
Doesn't upscale.
I was just like, does that spell scale? News to me. What are you doing? Getting more armor class or casting it on more people? Either one seems
That would be
terrifying.
cool. That would be cool.
Yeah,
Oh, that would be
yeah.
cool if I could like cast it on Kiavo as well.
Yeah, I'm good for that. I was twin spelling it in my campaign. It's broken as shit. Kiabo, you're up.
Okay, I'm blinded, but can I see just about barely enough to be able to sort of get a vague sort of idea of roughly where the people are, or is it just like...
That is giving me sort of all sorts of weird vibes. What are you trying to do?
You would have heard
Basically,
Torin say, "I'm with you."
I know that this guy was here.
Yeah. What are you trying to
If
do?
I sent something on there, so basically I want to drop a black tentacles right on where he was.
Evard's
be
Black
funny.
Tentacles, is that correct?
That's the one. Considering he was there, it would have been like, yeah.
Give me an intelligence check. Give me an attack roll, sorry, is what I should say.
Attack roll, sure thing.
Spell attack, obviously.
That's
Make you
20.
Punch it.
Oh, nice.
Goes there.
Sure.
Yeah. Does that conclude your turn?
Well, I need to actually do the Evard's Black Tentacles thing first. So
Nothing
that
happens
is.
when you cast it, I don't think.
Okay. When
I
a creature
believe
enters the
it's-
affected
yeah,
area for the
it's
first
when
time on a turn.
it's his turn
It's not his turn.
when things happen, not yours.
Okay.
Okay, all good.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, that's just how the spell works, right? It's like
Yeah.
casting Wall
No,
of
yeah,
Flame,
yeah,
or
that's totally fine.
yeah.
Want to move away?
Yeah. Do you want to step? Well, he's blind, but do you want to stumble backwards away from him?
No, it's okay. I'll stay near Torin.
Yeah, why not? I don't love that. Alessio, you're up.
So I rolled a 20 to hit with Felicity,
Okay.
and that's a total of 11 damage. And then I want to drop my weapon, and I want to make an unarmed strike as my extra attack. And I'm going to use a precision attack if I can, because I really want this to work.
Unarmed strike.
That's 16.
Yeah.
It hits.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. He takes 9 bludgeoning damage, and I'm going to use my bonus action to grapple him, because I have the Tavern Brawler feat.
Okay.
Is it contested athletics?
Yeah. I believe so. What are you trying to grapple him with? You're just trying to stop him from moving?
I'm trying to make him incapacitated so he can't take actions or reactions.
That is not what grapple does, as far as I know, is it?
Yeah, grappling makes the grapple
Speed zero.
Grappling,
That's
yeah,
it.
speed is 0.
Yeah,
basically,
it doesn't stop him from
But you
taking
can
actions.
you can
or
you can
bonus actions
ragdoll
or-
him though. Like you can like move him around. You can also shove him.
So-
Like, you
Yeah,
can
it
get him on the
doesn't.
ground.
Incapacitated is not something that happens from grapple.
I'm gonna post in the chat the condition. I believe it says.
Oh, no, no.
I misread
If
it.
if the grappler becomes incapacitated,
And
the
I was so
grapple
excited
ends.
about it too.
I know.
Yeah, so
I know.
basically, all it will do is stop the creature from moving. That is it.
All right.
You want to hit
I'll
with a
grab
weapon attack instead? Or?
I'll grab a dagger from my like pocket.
You can just
and
attack
I'll
with
look at-
Felicity again instead if you want.
Okay, well I'll grab Felicity and I'll point it towards like his neck, and I'll look at his friend and say, "How important is your job to you?"
He looks at you and says, "Not a job.
Well, is this more important than your life?
Is it more important than yours?
Yeah.
You look far more bloodied than I."
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
you're the only
so
person injured in this fight.
So I'll retcon that.
Okay.
I'll retcon the grapple because obviously,
Mhm.
I can't do what I wanted to
Yeah,
do. myself.
just give me a second. Well, yeah, I mean, you can't incapacitate somebody with a grapple, it's just not allowed. But a 16 will hit.
And I want to use a push attack.
Okay.
Yep, I want to use a pushing attack.
Cool.
So if that's okay,
Mhm.
he needs to make a strength saving throw, please.
That's an nat 1.
Me doing that
Nice.
is terrible. And finally, because this attack hit, I want to make this my once per day critical hit. So let's do that. So that's 16.
Hennick groans in annoyance, but metagaming wise, I'm not going to say any more than that.
Did I do something wrong?
Not yet.
Not that
Maybe.
you would know.
No.
There's no reason for you to know it.
I think maybe Hennick wanted him to stay in one place or something instead of you pushing.
I want them close together, but it's okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
Hennick pulled the one in and you've shoved the other out the other way. It's fine.
I'm gonna be honest. The only reason I used it,
oh.
it's because it's one of the only ones that stacks damage on my
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
fine.
Is that everything?
27 damage.
I've got that, yeah.
Is he
Wait, how
bloodied?
much?
27 damage.
27.
Oh, I think it's 77.
Is he bloodied?
No?
Alright, and because I didn't use my bonus action for Tavern Brawler, I'm going to use it instead to second win myself.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
So
You now look
that
slightly
is
better than
60 HP.
Chiavo.
Yeah,
That's
I'll look
it.
at him. What about now, little bitch? Don't look so
Yeah, what
bloody
about now?
anymore.
At the beginning of his turn, the one at the top left will make a dexterity saving throw. Is that correct, Chiavo?
That is, yeah.
19?
DC 18. Damn it.
You still do damage, I believe.
Does he take half damage? I was gonna say.
Oh, yeah, it is half damage, yeah.
It's
That's gonna be,
it's the cold damage, I think, right? But he doesn't take the. He doesn't get.
yeah, that's going to be
Get
6
bopped.
damage. Then.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's half, isn't it? So
Is it? I don't think it is. That's why I'm saying.
Is it
Is
not?
it? I don't think so. He
Oh,
just
no,
doesn't
I
get
see.
grappled, right? He
No,
doesn't
actually,
get
he doesn't take
restrained.
damage at all then. No,
Oh, really? Okay.
no, actually, no, he doesn't take damage at all.
Really?
Give me a
Yeah.
second.
Damn. A piece of tentacle from a giant octopus or a giant squid.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, failing the deck save is a pretty fuck you situation for you.
Well, then I would like to silvery barbs it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well,
Ooh.
a creature that starts its turn in the area is already restrained.
No, that is already restrained. Guys,
Oh.
reading is really hard for everybody, I know, but can assume that I'm able to interpret the spell if I can see it. That is an 11. Who are you giving your advantage to, Henrik?
Torin.
Torin, okay. The creature is now restrained, will take 13 bludgeoning damage, I believe. And
was
will
what
take
I
the bludgeoning damage in future on his future turns. He
Correct.
is now wounded. And he is also restrained.
Lovely.
He's going to make 3 attacks at Kiava with disadvantage.
Oof.
Yeah, kill the lion.
The nat 1 will miss. Actually, these are straight rolls. You're blind, aren't you?
Not
No.
anymore because he got to get into his turn.
It's the start of his turn. Yep, okay, so that's 2 nat 1s in a row.
Nice.
Amazing, amazing.
And a 25 to hit.
Wow.
Yeah, I won't be able to do anything about that.
27 fire damage.
Yeah.
You're blind again. Make a concentration check.
Hold on. Is it a check or a save?
It is a save, and you are within 10 feet.
+4.
That doesn't help him in the slightest. Oh,
No.
I suppose
Oh.
half of 27 is by technicality 13
Could
because
be
we do round
13.
down.
So 13
So yeah, okay,
should,
I'll give you that. Nice, I'll give you that. Okay,
Just
Sebastian,
barely.
you're up.
Yes. So Sebastian's gonna like gesture towards the ground as a line from here to here rises up and like a carpet just whoosh, as I cast tidal wave.
Oh, nice, I like
To
that.
make it quick.
You didn't throw your Pokeball this fight.
Yeah, I'm saving him.
Okay.
Can't just be throwing Pikachu out every
Save
time
him
like
for your
Ash.
next life. 13 on the deck save.
Nice, that's a fail. So he will be knocked prone
Mm-hmm.
and take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Nice, like that.
Nice. And then I shall move. Ooh, I shall move over here.
I'm pointing and then going. Look over there! And off
Oh,
he
yeah.
goes.
That away.
Yeah, it's a catwalk walk, right? I'm pointing and then going. Henrik, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna move a square here just because I have no idea what's going on over there. Oh, and I still don't see Sebastian, but I see that he's not in that area where I'm.
Oh, I can see your hat.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Bear with me a second.
Delightful.
You should be able to see.
It's because there's a rock
just.
there.
Can you see
Oh.
now? It's meant to be a
Yeah,
one-way
I mean-
dynamic lighting wall, and
I see.
it's not. That's a jump down.
Oh, like I'm up.
Yeah, that's a
I
drop.
see, I see.
It's quite a steep drop, actually. Sebastian can't see you,
Matter
but you can
too
see him.
much.
Yeah.
Interesting. Didn't matter too much. I'm going to attempt to hold person the guy on the right.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw, is that correct?
Yeah, which he's probably good at, I know, but
18?
yeah, but let's give him a second. He's gonna try it again. I got my reaction back at the beginning of my turn, so I'll silvery barbs again.
Now 20?
Okay,
You give
So
it
he's
advantage too.
Alessia.
I don't suppose.
It's
I don't
very
suppose
much a
being
save or
knocked
suck
prone doesn't-
whole person, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Dex saves, he would have automatically failed. Wisdom save, he doesn't give a
Right.
shit about.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
As assumed,
figured.
wisdom's his thing. You can see there, he's got a plus
And,
9.
That's a druid.
Let's give Bardic Inspiration. Hold on there. If they hit you again there, Chiavo, give Bardic Inspiration to Chiavo.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, nice.
Save or something.
Okay.
Don't you get to give advantage to someone else because it's
I
silvery
get
bar?
Alessia's got
He
that.
did give it to
Oh,
Alessio.
Alessio. Oh, I heard. I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Sorry, does that conclude your turn?
It does.
Okay, the one standing in front of Alessio fires out a green light in a circle around him and his companion.
Is that a spell?
It is a spell.
I can't see it though, can
You
I?
cannot see
Fuck,
this
I can't
creature.
cover it.
No.
I can though, so I will counter spell.
Okay, go ahead and give me an
I
intelligence
love
check,
you
please.
both. I love you both.
Okay, so I'm doing this at 4th level. So what am I rolling? Sorry.
Intelligence check.
Arcana, yeah, or
Intelligence.
intelligence.
check. 18.
Nice. It's a success.
Yeah.
He wasn't casting a 9th level mass cure wounds, believe it or not.
Thank goodness.
Okay. But Alessio kindly shoved him out the way so he doesn't get disadvantage on his ranged attacks. Seeing his friend held Chiavo, that is a 11 to hit you.
Nope.
No, that is definitely an advantage, sorry. It's a 26 to hit you because you're blind.
Yeah, okay.
You blind bitch.
27 fire damage.
Downs me.
Cool. Mission accomplished. Stop holding his friend.
Yeah, they stop attacking.
Yeah,
we'll be
they're
on
done
our
with you.
way.
Bye! The next one is going at
Can I use
Sebastian.
protective wings?
Uh,
Can I use protective wings?
No.
I could have used protective wings, but even with a +4 AC, I don't think that
Oh,
Kiamo
but
has a
it-
21.
No, but if you did, he could have shielded.
He can't shield an
Yeah.
attack that's not hitting him. And even with a shield and protective wings, he would have
Not
needed to
enough.
gain 13 armor class.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Also,
I don't
guys, if
think
you're
the
going to use
math
your
worked
reactions,
out.
you need to be quicker. Also, Chiavo,
Yeah, no,
you've
I-
just made 3 death saves for no reason. You want to fix that? You've got 1 fail and 2 successes on your death saves.
I don't know what's up with that.
Heal yourself by 1 and damage
Okay.
yourself by 1.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, next one's is Sebastian. It's 25 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big numbers. At the 20 fire damage and you're blind until next turn.
That's fine, that'll be absorbed.
Ignore the last run. Yes, you will still be blinded though. Ignore the last
Yeah,
turn.
that's
He didn't get to use that. He used a spell. Torin, you're up.
Okay, well, I did not like that very much. So I'm going to try to strike him down.
Advantage.
Yes.
Just to double
advantage.
check, Black Tentacles is a concentration spell, correct?
Yes.
Why are you at advantage? I thought Alessio had advantage.
I had done it twice.
Oh, you've done it
Yeah,
twice, haven't you?
he
Yeah.
gave me-
Cool,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Torin, go ahead. 21 hits.
Yep. 12
Mm-hmm.
plus. Let's see my spell slots here. Those would be nice to keep around. So we'll do a level 2. Okay. So that's 26 altogether. 12 slashing, 14 radiant for the first hit.
Okay.
And geez, I'm gonna have to try to hit him again.
Mm-hmm.
19 should hit.
Yeah.
Okay, another 12. And well, shit. Guess we'll have to just do that.
He is severely wounded.
Ooh.
You've been told already, Alessio, that would take 15 minutes.
Sorry, I thought
That's
that was
150
something else.
rounds. Sorry, does that conclude your turn?
Does it? That's a good question. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
No, I'm gonna actually move between
Love that. Chiavo, you're up.
and Mikavo.
Death save, please. McPherson?
Can he use my bardic inspiration on death saves?
Yeah,
I think another D8.
if he wants to.
Yeah.
Might as
Cool.
well.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's up to
that's
him.
Yep, that's a success instead. Nice. McPherson, you're up.
I'll use 15 movement just to get here behind him,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna strike with Felicity. I have advantage because of panic.
Mhm.
23.
Yep.
So that is going to be
Mm-hmm.
7, but I don't believe that is accounting for the damage from psychic. So here we go.
Yep.
7 plus 4, and then extra attack. 17.
Hold on, sorry. Yeah, 17 hits.
That's 11 damage.
He's
And then I'm
wounded.
gonna
Wait, is he
Huh?
still prone?
That's always advantage.
I think every attack. is
No,
advantage.
no, he got up on his own turn.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
Sebastian went 2 turns
Tripping.
before him. My apologies for not stating that, but yeah.
yeah.
The only person who would have
Oh.
got advantage was Henrik, and he didn't cast a damage spell.
I'll action
Right.
surge.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit?
Nope.
Okay. Last attack. 16.
16 hits.
That's gonna be a pushing attack as well.
Okay.
So, 14 plus. Oh,
He gets a 16 on the strength save.
it doesn't pass. Or does it? Let me. What is my DC? DC 17.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's 14 damage plus 5, so 19 damage.
Mhm.
5, 10. He gets pushed 15 feet, so an additional 5.
Okay.
And I'll end my turn here. And the reason I pushed him in game is because I noticed that he was getting an advantage by being further away.
Okay. That leads us to our druid friend over here, who will strike once with his primal savagery attack. That's an at 1 at Thorin. Second time with his primal savagery. 24.
24 beats me, but I'm going to shield.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to.
Gift to Metallic Dragon.
Yeah, I'm gonna shield.
Okay. And then a third one. That one. He then will use his bonus action, and before you stands a ginormous woolly mammoth.
What an odd-looking manner.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered, if I'm being honest, to get an asset for every single wild shape.
No, that's fine.
I might have something sort of woolly mammothy. Can be a beast of earth.
You know, speaking of animals that are now extinct, saber-toothed tigers must have had such a hard time sleeping, like with their teeth. How would they sleep?
Oh, look at this thing.
You haven't watched Ice Age?
Not in
It
a long
is a
time.
mammoth, not a whatever that is. But yeah,
I think that's a Komodo dragon.
yeah, whatever. Cool. And that is Sebastian's turn.
Hi. So being blinded, of course I cannot see, so I shall give myself to the weave.
Yes, correct. Sorry, go on. I was trying to work out which druid blinded you.
I shall give myself to the weave and cast Ataxia. Do I need to roll to see if it hits if it affects an enemy or ally? Because I can't see
No.
them to choose.
Which would you prefer?
The only problem with an ally is that it could be so useless. So I'll go with an ally.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I will say that you can roll me a d20. If it's below a 10, it's Henrik. If it's above a 10, it's Alessio.
Okay. I got a 10.
Oh, Alessio it is.
Okay. And I'm gonna cast this at 2nd level. So I need to roll twice. So 19 and a 20. So 39. That's Aegis.
Aegis? Okay, no, I don't even know what
Yeah.
Aegis does. Pretty good though, I think.
Aegis.
Yeah, no, if you're going to manage spells, add spells. And then you can read it. I believe Aegis is a 3rd level spell. No, it must be a 2nd level spell, otherwise it wouldn't
It's
have
the
worked.
one I'm
must be.
reading. It says I have a +5 bonus to AC, as well as advantage on saving throws against magical effects. That's pretty cool. If it is this.
Yeah, I guess so.
When a
Oh,
being
no, it's
ally is
different.
retired to make a save, you take no damage on a successful save and only half damage on a failed one. There you go. If you have to make a save, Alessio, you will take no damage on a successful save, and half on a failed one.
Cool.
Oh, I like it.
Yes. And that will be my turn, I
And
guess.
in
Can't do
fact,
anything else.
it will affect Hennick as well, I think. Is that 10 feet? Oh, it's 15. Never mind. It will just affect Hennick. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Hennick, you're up.
What's affecting me?
Nothing. It didn't. You entered range.
Yeah, okay.
The ability
I think you
that
missed fucking
buffs
again. I
Alessio.
got
Yeah.
you. All right. Well, I'm glad that I was able to help Kievo survive, but let's get him back up altogether. Let's do a 3rd level healing word on him. To 11 HP on Kievo. That being my bonus action. Now I can only do so many things here. Nothing that's going to be powerful enough to really.
Will you
take
ever
me
get
down.
another chance in a campaign to mock a mammoth? Just saying.
I mean, I suppose it's just so weak.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you to do it. I just
Disadvantage
think,
on attack
I just
rolls
think
is
it's
important.
cool that you can mock a mammoth.
I just wish I had enough to take down the one who hasn't changed yet. So another fucking pile of HP to deal with, but I doubt I do. But let me Ray of Frost him, the still human one.
Okay.
It's 19 to hit.
Yep.
7 cold
Okay,
damage.
cool. Does that conclude your turn?
I'm not gonna take him out. I'm just gonna move a little.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
He will ask Torin and Kiavo to make a strength saving throw, please.
Is it the spell?
It is a spell.
I'm countering it.
Okay.
Nice.
And then he is going to Primal Savagery twice at Alessio McPherson. The first one is a nat 1. Second one's a nat 1. Fucking Jesus.
No. I'm gonna use Riposte
Okay.
because he missed both of those attacks. Felicity, do something. Not 20.
That works.
Bloody hell. I'm having quite some luck today, aren't I, guys?
Bloody hell.
Oh my god, that's 20 on the damage too. So that's 28 damage.
Okay.
And that's my reaction.
Wow. What an
Oh, this
intense
is
reaction.
what joy.
I believe you're missing a 2d4 on that. Psychic.
Yes! Thank you, my king. Thank you for reminding me because I forgot that before. And that's an additional 4 damage.
Torin, you're up.
Okay. Large mammoth, eh?
Yeah, I you may assume, Hennick, that they can't just turn into an animal on will. It required something that obviously one of them didn't have. Yeah, that is insight
I
sort
see.
of thing. Yep.
No, but my facial expressions were more about damn that.
No,
dude's
I
taking
didn't. I
on
couldn't even
too
see your
severe.
face. But you'd
But it was-
mentioned that he wasn't going to turn into a sack of HP.
Right, yeah.
Truth be told, he can't. Kiavo keeps counterspelling his spells, and he's run out of slots. Torin.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with this mammoth right now.
Yeah, it's big.
Okay. Fuck. Okay. Not to be outdone by this mammoth, I'm going to channel divinity to invoke my power of peerless athlete, which will
Sorry,
just make me look.
just to clarify, it did knock the creature to severely wounded. Yeah, sorry. Yep. Channel Divinity.
Oh, that guy back there.
Yeah.
Yes. Channel divinity, and I'm just gonna strike him then with some attacks as well. 21.
Yep. Realize he's in the wrong spot, right? He should be there. Yep.
So that's a 15 slashing with a additional 13 radiant from a level 1 smite. And then I'm gonna blow some fire at him actually.
Okay.
So that'll be a deck save.
Mm-hmm.
DC 15.
He's not very dexterous. That's a 1.
Good. He takes 9 fire damage.
Okay. Does that conclude your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna move down a little bit actually.
Okay.
just
Yeah, leave him to Kiavo.
Where?
Kiavo, you're up.
The thing is, as soon as I am to go for the one that's going for Alessio, I think I'll focus on this one. You know,
On the
I'll
mammoth.
shimmy
Yeah.
myself. Yeah, I'll shimmy myself up a little bit, and it's not very dexterous, so I know what this means. At 5th level, let's go for a big Mahusive bolt of lightning shooting through the guy.
That's a 5.
He's going to need to make a dex save, DC
5.
18. Yep,
Oh,
okay, that's failed. That's
oh, reliable.
33 damage.
Okay, he's wounded.
Okay,
That's
good
you.
start, good start. I'll back up.
Mm-hmm.
I only just remembered I actually put this on as long as you were okay with it. You said you were okay, so I'll pull out a copper coin and toss it in the direction of Torin. And as I raise my hand, it will flatten out into a disc.
That gives me no information whatsoever.
Giving him a fragile shield.
Oh,
Until it blocks an attack, he will have
Oh,
plus 2
yes.
AC.
Yeah.
Sick.
Just the one, just the one block, but it will do so.
On the first attack, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it could survive 20 attacks if they all hit you. It survives until it blocks an attack.
Yeah.
Kiavo, is that you?
That will be me for now.
Oh, McPherson, you're up.
That I got another nat 20.
It's pretty cool.
Let's go, Felicity. Let's take a
So
head.
that's 18 damage.
Okay.
Extra attack. 27 to hit.
Did that include your... It did include your psychic. Okay, yep, 27 hits.
That's... Yep, that's 16 additional
Cool.
damage.
Yeah, and as you plunge this one down, he... And you see his
Vanishes.
body...
Look who's bloodied now.
You see, as you strike a fatal blow, where you would expect there to be blood, sort of deep black ichor pulls out. As he starts to almost melt.
What?
Damn,
and,
that's what genocide does to you.
Go down to the ground. You can inspect that a little more after the fight, but he's dead.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, and yeah, that gets me close
Okay.
enough.
Beautiful.
Wait,
You have-
25.
Where were you and why? Yeah.
I
And
want
you
to
had
hide in the
concluded-
bush.
You had concluded your turn, but sure.
Alright, leave him there, leave him there. No,
Yeah,
leave
okay.
Him, leave him there.
I am going to make a straight line charge. I need a dexterity
shit.
save from all of you apart from Kiavo. So far I have one.
Dirty 20 for me.
Yeah.
I want to do mine last because
And
no, I can.
dex save,
Oh,
please.
sorry, I didn't know it was me. Dex save is
Yeah, so
gonna
as he's
be
charging, he's sort of swinging his tusks from side to side, and that's what you're trying to dodge.
dirty 20.
Nice.
Got an 8, but if that's a fail, I can use my Indomitable to
You
reroll.
can use your Indomitable.
Well, you
So
also
that's
have the
okay.
effect of Aegis as well.
Yeah. I've rolled a 12 now.
So those of you who are not Alessio will take 14 bludgeoning damage as you're knocked by the thing, but you sort of turn and you don't take too much of a hit. Alessio, you are knocked prone.
So 14 damage on a success, right?
You didn't succeed, but yes.
But I have ages, so I think I take half damage even if I fail.
Yeah, you haven't been hit by that effect, right? So let's just clarify. Those of you who succeeded, which was all of you apart from McPherson, you will take 14 damage. McPherson, you would take 33 bludgeoning damage and 29, which is 32, 62, because you are knocked to the ground and stepped on by a mammoth. However, due to your Aegis, you'll be able to half that.
You'll take half.
31.
Yeah.
Can I use acrobatic dodge as my reaction?
Or that.
You may roll a dexterity check or save to avoid damage. The DC is equal to the amount of damage taken minus your proficiency modifier. You take half damage on a successful save and full damage on a failed save.
Just give me 2 seconds. That sounds like my writing.
Yep, it is. I'll post it in chat.
Yeah, so it is going to be... DC is going to be 33 minus 4, 29? Can you even get 29 on an acrobatics check?
No, I can only get
I
27.
don't think we should use it then. Cool, you'll take 33 damage, and that is the mammoth. Done. We go to Sebastian.
Is the mammoth moved?
Oh, sorry. It's
Sorry.
60 feet, so let me just scroll out slightly. I did just measure it. Okay, we're going to stop at 50 feet because it had to go around the cliff there. So yeah, it's sort of there.
Love that for me. Sorry, it does help. That's why I asked.
Yeah, that's okay.
I am going to cast Absorption Shield on myself, and as per me meddling with it, it can now be a circle that's around me. It can go with me.
Like a globe.
So,
Yep.
yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be. Where's my D10? Oh, nice. So that'll be 25 hit points.
Okay.
By protecting me, and I'll risk an opportunity attack and run away.
Okay.
Over here.
That is 13 to hit, which will miss.
So nice, yes, nice. Yeah, that's my. I'm not still blinded, am I?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's my turn, I think.
Hennick, you're up. One mammoth.
And nobody's down.
No.
At the moment. I always wish this was more powerful, but I think I'm going to do it anyway. Let me just check the other one. I always get mixed up between my Sleet Storm and Ice Storm. Sleet Storm.
Ice Storm does
just
damage, Sleet
terrain.
Storm does
Yeah.
terrain effect.
Ice Storm it is. Do I have an Ice Stormy thing over here? I probably do. I do. No, I drag it. Boom. Obviously, I don't want to hit Sebastian.
Dex or con?
That one is Ice Storm is a Dex save, 15.
The Dexterous Mammoth gets a 10.
Excellent. And so that is going to be. Let me see if I can make it come through to over here so I can roll it all at once. Is there a way to do that?
I think if you just click cast, it'll do all the things. Yep,
I don't know what happened.
It
tells
gave
you
us the
3 on
bludgeoning
my
and
screen.
the bludgeoning
Okay,
and the cold
good.
damage all in thingy. 16 total damage and difficult terrain. Is that correct?
I guess so. That's just the worst thing ever. But okay.
It was a terrible roll. Yes, you are right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Uh,
meh.
oh, sorry. go
I
on,
shall bardic inspiration someone. Alessio, are you like beat to shit?
Mm-hmm.
I won't be
He's prone.
Running up and
on my
yeah.
next
He
turn.
can't get
That's
there
what I
anyway.
figured.
Throwing up, shitting, and barfing tears.
I'm gonna hope that Torin's gonna maybe get in the mix, and so I'll give it to Torin. Bardic inspiration.
I
For
will.
whatever you got.
Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult there at the end, so we'll see. But something you'll do. You've got inspiration.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Torin, it's your turn. It's 50 feet to that creature.
It's 50 feet.
Well, it's 25, and then 30, 35, 40, 45.
Oh, I thought
I
Ice Storm
think
was
you
the one
can
that
hit
goes
him.
away.
I think I need to look at his token. Hold on, sorry.
Is
Let
it
me
less
just
if
go
you
back.
run around the top of the circle?
So
In the
his token
non-difficult?
actually ends here.
Like on this one?
So I
Fair enough.
think
Yeah,
we
yeah.
use,
I think I have 45 feet of movement.
30, 35, 45. Ooh. No, let's try here. 25, 35, 45. You can hit him from there, from this spot here.
This spot right here?
Yep.
Oh, aren't I moving myself? Oh, I'm on an arrow too. Jesus.
You're pointing
Right
at my
here.
pointer. Yes, right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird because his marker is like slightly bigger than the body, right?
Got you. Got
Yeah,
you.
but it's a 4x4.
Okay.
Yeah.
In
God damn,
that,
you have a bardic inspiration.
I do. I just increases by 10 feet. Okay.
I've just got this image of like Torin has ran over there, and then as he's reached the ice storm, he's like skidded across in the ice with his
Yeah,
blade.
I'm
It's
like sliding, and I'm like
Yeah,
exactly
Love that.
about to just like slide
You're
into
very
him.
dexterous, aren't you? Yeah. So it makes
Indeed.
sense. Go ahead.
So I'll roll a hit. The 22.
22 will most definitely hit.
Very nice. Very nice. For a 12
Mhm.
plus. Man,
He
I'm
is
running out of
severely
spell
wounded.
slots. Very good.
That's all right. We're running out of session. I wouldn't worry too much about
Yeah, I know.
it.
Oh, terrible. Oh, that's not bad actually. 10. I thought it was a 4. Plus 10 radiant.
Yep. Severely wounded.
And in quick succession, gonna take another
Yep.
swipe. And
That'll definitely hit.
6. For a 15. And my very last first level spell slot. Another 7 on top.
So bear with me.
Yeah, yeah.
With a 7 on top. You see that
Yes.
some of this damage bleeds over into the druid itself, as he's no longer a woolly mammoth and is back to being a druid.
Hmm. Not so
So
big
I can
now,
keep the
little
turn,
man.
Troy.
Yes. I'm gonna stare him down intimidatingly.
Yeah, well, you're
Actually,
I'm not sure how wounded the guy is, but I'll give this one a whirl. I would like to toss a 4th level rigged prismatic orb at
Go
the
ahead, roll
guy.
to hit.
That's going to be a 26.
That'll hit, damage type.
For that, I will
D8.
need to roll this D8 real quick. That's going to be a 6.
I think that's what Sebastian got last time. Isn't that acid?
No, I got 2 last time, which was
Yeah,
acid.
target's restrained. It must make a con saving throw at the end of each of its turn. It
Okay.
successfully saves 3 times the spell ends.
Nice.
Hey.
He is
Nice.
restrained. Alessio, you're up. Yes. 35 foot of movement
Fine.
speed. Do you have 35 foot of movement speed?
What was that? Was I here? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, I'm counting 30.
This is difficult terrain, the icy circle.
Would I be able to step in? Or do I... Oh, yeah, I get it. 10, 15, 20. Give me a sec. Felicity has 5 foot reach. If I stood
5 foot
here,
is 5 foot.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
I was trying to slow him down when he was still a mammoth charging around the place.
It made
Yeah, no, I
perfect
get
sense.
it, I get it.
Yeah.
It's totally
You
fine.
also said
I'm
Alessio
just-
wasn't going to be walking in, which is why he didn't heal you, or give you advantage, or anything else. Because he
No,
thought you were staying over there barfing, which is what you said you were doing.
Couldn't have predicted my turn.
No, of
I
course.
couldn't have
Yeah, no.
predicted that.
Yeah, we didn't know it did his hurt.
I will throw Felicity.
ooh.
What is Felicity?
Spear?
This is
Oh,
spear.
spear. Yeah. Okay, now that makes more sense. Sorry, for a second there I was like, have he just thrown a longsword at someone? Yeah.
Yes, let's pretend I'm throwing her as I'm running at him. That's like a 12 to hit, so I'm guessing it doesn't.
12 makes enough, right?
And then I'll pull my hand axe of teleportification, and I'll throw that instead.
Probably should have thrown that first. You could have got there.
Yeah, true.
5 foot movement,
Actually,
throw the hand.
I
That's
mean,
no, it's too late.
If you don't mind me pulling it, because I think we've had an issue before about me grabbing a weapon.
You
And
can
then
you can
throwing it.
draw one weapon and attack. You just can't draw two weapons as two attacks. But anyway, you can throw your axe. It will hit. Go ahead and give me some damage.
Yeah. That's 10 slashing.
Okay, and you are now next to him. That concludes your turn.
Yes, but could I just ask that I hadn't thrown Felicity then? That I would have done the axe first and then try to hit with Felicity.
No.
Because I wasn't aware of the rule that I could. That's why I planned it like that. It's like I dropped Felicity to draw another weapon.
Yeah, in all
I didn't realize
fairness,
I
you
could
can't throw a weapon. You can't draw and throw a weapon as an attack action without having dropped Felicity in the first place.
All right,
You'd have to
okay,
drop
then I
Felicity on
did
the
the right
floor,
thing.
throw the axe, and then
Oh, good.
draw another weapon, right? So yeah, okay.
It's my turn.
He is once again going to try and heal himself. As you see a green light come out his hands. Where the fuck is this dice? Oh, it's under the fucking turn order, that's why. He regains some hit points. And then he is going to strike out first at Alessio. 20 to hit.
My AC is 20.
I'm gonna use my Gift of the Chromatic Dragon to
Nice.
unfurl a wing of spectral energy
Okay.
that will block the attack.
Seeing this, he's going to throw a bolt of fire at you. 21 to hit.
No, that's not it.
Is that the fragile shield breaking?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then he will throw a second one at you. 18, which will miss. Sebastian, you're up.
Yes. What to do? Oh shit! I have Misty stuff. I didn't realize.
He is severely wounded.
Yeah. I'll just throw another Rinse Prismatic Orb.
Okay.
That's a 17 to hit. Cool, and then D8. That is a lightning.
Nice.
Nice. And this is off level. Jesus, that's just rolled for every type there is. Sorry.
I don't see it. Oh, there we go.
Lightning
39.
39.
Oh!
Nice.
You bring him to his knees with damage.
Lovely. That's my turn, I think.
Finish him.
Yeah. Okay.
Is he still restrained, by the way?
He is so
He
restrained.
is.
Oh,
Attacks him
yeah.
over the advantage. Sorry, I should have told you that, Josh.
Execute him.
I want something that
Genocide.
he definitely takes damage from, so I'm gonna
Rolled
fourth
a
level
nat
shatter
20
him.
as well.
Ooh.
4th level shatter him? I have told you he has 1 hit point, yeah?
Oh, I didn't hear that. I just
Sorry.
knew he was down.
He is on his
Wow.
knees
Do
with
it,
damage,
Nick.
1 hit point.
Okay, well then a second level shatter will do just fine.
Yeah,
Because
fantastic.
it's guaranteed
And
damage,
as-
and that's what I want.
As a piercing sound ruptures his ears and his brain, he is dead upon the ground. And once again, like
Nice.
the other creature, the other druid, you see this black ichor sort of pouring from his body in the place of
What's
blood.
an ichor?
Like
What
a,
is ichor?
like a substance, like a nasty.
Like an
I mean, like the word "icky" literally comes from ichor.
Oh, okay. I always wondered in video games when you kill someone and you pick up a demon ichor. I was like, what is this?
Exactly
Put some
that,
in a
but,
flask or in a
Okay,
vial.
cool.
Some of this ichor. Could we put it in a flask or a vial?
Sure, that's grim, but you can do it. Why
Well,
not?
Lovely.
We need proof, right?
But
Proof
what?
of what?
That these people are attacking us and that these people tried to stop us from helping these guys out.
And a vial
Is
of black
that
liquid will
proof?
prove that 100%. That's
Is
fine,
that
right?
This
Really?
guy,
This
this guy right
yeah.
here.
Anyway,
he
that's
fucking,
anything.
he fucking
Um,
tried to.
I mean, if anything, I'm saying this in character. If Alessio did also say that in character,
Okay.
if anything, it doesn't prove it at all because surely any elf would say, "Well, we don't believe that. We bleed blood like everyone does." So clearly something else is going on
And
for
why
the
don't
insides
they?
to be this.
Henrik, go ahead and
Yeah.
give me a medicine check.
Okay, do that.
That's Sebastian's once per day insightful.
Not
thought.
well. 8.
8. You haven't got a clue.
It's my like motive of the day.
Yeah. In that case, I will take a nature check from Torin. Sorry, survival. Survival, I think, is your thing, right?
Yeah.
Survival check from Torin. And the wizards can give me an Arcana check, and the fighter can give me a medicine check.
Can I make a medicine
Torin,
check?
Or just
Torin
say
will
the
bend
fighter-
down and
fighter medicine check.
Torin will dip down and bend down and dip his fingers into
Okay.
it and look. And
You're
get the
all going to get
25.
slightly weird stuff from this because none of you have the required knowledge, which is why it's not organic.
I got a 28.
Nice. 20. That's on the Arcana, right? Medicine
Yes.
for McPherson.
6.
Oh, rough. Okay.
Yeah. I rolled a
Um,
1.
and the survival check was 25, right? No.
25. Yeah.
So first of all, you have seen this sort of liquid before, but not coming out of a person. It's like tree sap, almost like it's like a dark version of tree sap. And
Molasses, I believe you called it.
something like that, yeah. As Sebastian stands over the body, he's able to ascertain that that weird magic which is giving them a bark-like skin appears to also be giving them some of the properties internally. Same being. I think Torin as well with a 26, 25. I will give you a bit of paladin bleed over. To say that it is quite a corrupted or dark form of magic.
I was just gonna say it's like a weird version of a corruption.
Yeah, so it's basically like a dark or demonic version of bark skin. As you are likely to be doing the ritual to return the children to their bodies, is that an unfair assumption, or is that likely what you would do now?
I think we would do that.
Okay.
Would we?
It will.
I don't know.
After
Can
about
it?
10 minutes, those bodies start to bleed natural blood underneath as the magic dissipates. So they are genuinely moon elves, wild elves, but
Sun elves.
yeah, they're genuinely
Snow
elves, but the
High
magic
elves.
took a while to dissipate from it.
Yes.
Um,
Okay, that makes sense.
Cool. And they lose some of that natural barkiness to their skin, and they are then very pale, like those previous wood elves you've seen. We will begin next session with returning ritual, if that is what we're going to do. I'll let you guys decide at the beginning of the session. But that is where we are going to end. So we will come to the timeless PvPs. Just before we do, I suppose I should probably let you know that you have gained a level.
Oh,
We have been delaying. We've been delaying this level until the return of Sebastian, because it was
The
confusing for him
return.
to level up for no reason while he wasn't with you. Congratulations. There is something special about this level up. This is the last time at which any attribute points will be given out. You may finally take that last attribute point. From now on, you will get attribute points as per ASIs, if you choose to take them when you take them, because you have
can
reached
pick
the
any-
balance point. You,
Any ability.
yes, you may put your one attribute point in any ability. I think for most of you, this will be your final point in your primary stat, be it
Yes.
Dex, Strength, Intelligence, Charisma.
My
If it
first
is
money.
not, you may put it in something else. I think it's only Chiavo who already has a 20, so can put a point elsewhere.
I had a strength. Of
Yes,
20.
you did as well. Yep. So, because obviously only 2 stats to focus on. But yeah, you can each put 1 point into your stats. Now,
my
when we
10
reach
whiz.
ASIs, you will get stats as per the ASIs. Skills will still develop throughout the campaign, but attributes will just go as per ASIs when they come. And welcome to level 10. And also sort of marks the halfway point in the campaign.
Oh god.
We now at least know somewhat who the enemy is, right? Or at least a version of the enemy. We have
The masked
ascertained.
mage.
Yes, him too.
Alessio.
We have ascertained at least some information about what is going on in the world. And we are back to the surface, and for once, you guys aren't being told where to go, right? You've now got your information, it's up to you.
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
decide
let's
where
go
you
on a vacation.
Yeah, well, before we do, we will obviously start next session with the resummoning
Potential
ritual, if you
resurrection.
wish. But also, I will tell you that you are not far from where your intended destination was. You were only redirected a sort of 500 or 600 feet. It won't take you long to realize that you can walk back to the waxy area. They just redirected you far enough to try and fight you. So with that,
that's what was happening with the teleportation. That's why
they
colours
redirected
changed.
your ritual ever so slightly to move you away from the teleportation circle so they could try and beat you up.
Very cool.
No surprises. That's sort of the fights you're likely to expect with these druid-like creatures.
Very
they
cool.
are nasty little
Don't
bastards.
often fight druids.
No, but they're difficult fuckers. I've had to scale them down ever so slightly because if they all wild-shaped twice per combat, we would be here for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would take a while.
2 mammoths with 126 HP each on top of the base HP. It just wouldn't be a fun fight. It'd just be boring.
Yeah.
Anyway, MVPs. I'll start where I finished with Josh.
It's nice having Sebastian back. I've also missed playing an Abjuration Wizard. They are so much fun. I was like kind of worried at the beginning of the fight. I was like, I haven't cast Mage Armor. I don't have my Arcane Ward off. And then they started casting spells. I was like, yes, counter spell can proc it.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's nice playing Sebastian again and being slightly less grumpier version of Bert within the team dynamic, you know. I think that, and I'm also very, very intrigued by what the siblings do, and because obviously the girls coming with us, and they haven't experienced any kind of modern life before, so it'll be interesting to see their reactions to things.
You've got to remember, they've never been above ground, ever.
Yeah,
I've never seen
they'll
the sun.
probably like be blinded by the sun.
Absolutely.
Or maybe it'll be like in Dragon Age dwarves that aren't on the surface. They think if you go up, you'll fall into the sky because there's not a ceiling there. So maybe they'll think that.
Maybe they will. Joe.
Trying to keep track of lots of crazy elf types and knowing that it's kind of like I don't worry too hard about it because Hennick would not give a shit and also be unable to keep track of it. Like he wouldn't know, and he also kind of dislikes them all. But actually, the fact. So my MVP is really the fact that we got sucked away into a fight from the teleporting, because I was really like caught up in this image of us just popping into the teleportation circle carrying some elf corpses, which I was like, I was gonna tell everybody like hide the book, and then it's like, oh shit, we have to take the bodies too, like they didn't just dissipate, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I would have addressed that issue, but I knew it wasn't going to be one, so I just thought,
right.
fuck it, I can't be bothered to go
So I was
into
like,
this in-depth description of shit that doesn't matter.
fun solution, kill.
Yeah, pretty much. Obviously, once they are resurrected, you would know enough about the way they look to know that they could easily be disguised as regular elves, right? They are pale, but other than that, they are no different.
But that's almost worse if you show up with the corpses, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like
yeah.
we're in weird elf territory, and
You're
like
showing up with
we're
elf
totally
corpses,
here
yeah.
to help, and then right.
Yeah, no, that is one of the main reasons that I made note to do it that way. But yeah, I'm glad that nuance crossed your mind. Bruno.
My favorite part of the session was when Sebastian said, I am blinded, of course I cannot see.
Well, there we go. Fairly direct and succinct.
No, that was like my favorite thing a player did, because my favorite part of the session was fucking Rael. I loved her.
I'm allowed to get an MVP too. You don't have to give an MVP to a player. It's your favorite moment of the
You're
session.
allowed. You're allowed one, James. I don't know. I just really liked it. I particularly like NPCs that kind of like, we start off on the wrong foot, and then there's like the little arc where they become kind of like, okay, we see eye to eye now. Like, that's my type of shit, so I loved it.
Yeah, I like the idea of having NPCs with their own motives, really. It's what makes them real, right? Is when they have their own paths, and whether they agree with you or don't agree with you is their own thing. So I enjoyed that part. Josh, you turned your mic on, but not to speak.
Also, just a quick little one. Very, very interested as to why Theseus didn't want the Wild Elves to know of his presence. Very intriguing. Because he obviously has changed his opinion on the matter over the centuries about locking them away, but now also doesn't want his presence known. Very interesting.
Those are good tales. Well,
also a good point. There could be a multitude of reasons for that, but add some food for thought. I'm gonna have to say for this one, it's kind of weird to say. I think it's going to be the choice that we sort of were being pushed into making, like whether we essentially grant these elves their freedom or not. But it's an interesting sort of plot point, an interesting sort of discussion on this one. It's
I didn't think you'd take them.
it definitely got.
I was quite pleased you did.
Really?
I didn't think you guys would take them, no. I didn't think Alessio would trust them. I didn't think Sebastian would trust them. And I didn't think Carvo would trust them. And I thought that was going to be a 3-2.
Well,
well,
Sebastian
we haven't
spent
woken
a
him up
long
yet.
time with them.
Yeah, I mean,
If
I was
they were
also
actually-
born.
If they were actually behind his mother dying, he would have probably not helped them.
No, but yeah, as stated, that was prior to the events. Yeah. Anything else?
Also,
Jamal?
I'm gonna have to give a smaller one to the dramatic use of counterspell and the amount of damage it did to these poor bastards.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to point out you're counterspelling an at-will Entangle and an at-will Fairy Fire. Weren't that bothered. But you did counterspell a 5th level. Josh counterspelled a 5th level Mass Cure Wound. That was quite important. So yeah, definitely. I
Do you know, at
counterspell's
some
cool.
point... Yeah, sorry. At some point, we've really got to sit Alessio down and actually get word for word his backstory. So, because I'm slightly confused as to what's happened to him in the past. So at some point, I really want to sit down. Like, can you tell me from start to finish what's
we
happened
need like
to
a
you?
spa session. We need a spa session where we all just sit down and talk about our backstories.
Maybe the players should do that, not the characters. That'd be a weird thing for the characters to do right now.
In the middle of a
Especially
war,
as
sure.
4 of them grew up together and kind of know everything about each other.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rico.
Well, I think sort of to echo on what Jamal had been saying, just sort of maybe the interaction of the party with regards to the choice and sort of where we're at, and obviously we all have our differing opinions on whether or not we should trust anything that this elf woman says. But at the end of the day, we as players know that we have to, come together and follow the story path. But I think it was really nice that we all sort of justified and made sense of why we should do this, righteous or just act, seemingly.
Yeah.
It was just good. It was good. It was good party interplay.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's very interesting that you said, we all want to get along with the storyline. But I think one of the things that I just remind you of is that the story goes on regardless of your party, really. Obviously, you are an integral part of the campaign, right? You're the main characters to a point. But if you remember, you started as not the main characters and you're progressing to main character.
Yes, correct.
So there is no decision that is right, wrong, or what I'm expecting or what I'm not expecting. There's often a moment where I think, like, oh, they're going to do that, and they don't. Like Sebastian jumping into a whirlpool. Which I kind of thought Josh might do, but I wasn't sure.
Where would we have been if I didn't?
True.
You would have fallen
the
in
same
here, and there would
place.
have been no Sebastian, and they wouldn't have made the deal with you. They would have fought you, right? So, yeah.
I mean, I think
they
from-
wouldn't have trusted you in the slightest. You would have been invaded into their home.
I will say that I think from Torin's perspective, it made sense to take these two because it's his best chance or their best chance of finding the source of the land striking back, which was at the end of the day our main goal, right? Like that's what we were sent out to do, is discover the source of this calamity.
I'm really interested post wax. Now that you know what the source of the problem is, I'm really interested as to what you guys are going to do and where you're going to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it Sandringham? Is it back to the boat? Is it the marketplace? To find Yagra and tell us some shit? Is it Harbondon to report
let's
back?
not beat up Yagra.
Is it to find out what happened to Mage Fallon, right? Is it the Urak state? Is it... There are so many different
Is it the
areas,
masked
places.
mage?
No, it's not the
my
masked mage.
Way of the path.
Anything
Way of the
but.
path.
Yeah, way to
Yeah, and you're just going to do all
Yes.
20 of the way of the paths
Way
and
of the
fuck off the
path.
storyline. We've done our job. Bye. We're going
Yes.
exploring. Are we just going
No,
to
we need to be strong enough.
Because it might be fun. Are we going to go and find out about the mysterious Leonins that Jamal is somewhat attached to? Maybe we're going to go make peace with the Yuan-Ti and find them a home. Sort their shit out. There's so many things you guys could do, and after next session, it really is sort of open ground. The foundations have been laid. It's your campaign, right? I'm definitely really looking forward to that explorative motion. I've got a couple of MVPs. I really liked Orin's sort of perspective in the decision making. He's such a good guy, right? Torin's such a good guy, and that's lovely. And it's he has no agenda of his own other than to do the right thing, and I think that's so lovely. Because obviously certain people are distrustful or they want what's right for them in their story, or
Why'd you look at me when you say that?
they want to do, they want to do what their character believes is to their best benefit. Whereas Torin just wants to do the right thing, and I think that's really sweet.
But it's also really sad
Paladin
because he's not really Torin. Torin died in a tomb.
True.
This is but a spirit.
It's Torin 2.0. Another Rico one. I loved. Can we have a room to ourselves so we can talk? And then you spoke with your mic muted, and nobody said
I
anything.
know. I was like talking for like fucking 2 minutes. I was like, oh fuck it.
Oh, well, that's fun. And I also I was really glad you guys played ball with the elves. I'm so glad you took them. And I do think the fact they were hot had a lot to do with it. Okay.
I was more into the fact that you got art from a Dragon Age character. I was like, I know that tattoo anywhere.
I just grabbed shit off the internet. But yeah, that is where we're going to end. We look forward to seeing you again next week. If you guys would like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye now.
We shall see you soon.